It's taken a little longer than expected, but we are finally back with the longest, the most immersive, the most realistic Road to Glory career mode here on YouTube with the one and only Redmont Rangers. If you're new to the channel or to this series, Redmont Rangers is a fictional club based in the northeast of England and currently competing in League 2, but we'll be looking to change that as soon as possible. We'll be playing 8 to 10 series in this career mode save, but we'll only be covering 1 calendar month per episode. Each episode will contain one featured game where you see every single kick of the ball. I'll play 2 to 3 games off cam and show you the highlights, and the remaining fixtures will be quick simmed. So this isn't going to be your typical Road to Glory series where we're in the Premier League by episode 3. This one's about to be a grind. We'll also be keeping things as realistic as possible throughout the series, which means I'll be using my custom settings and slider sets, which you can find on the channel. We'll be ignoring the board and instead setting ourselves custom objectives with realistic rewards and consequences. And we'll be using version 2 of Buzzko's COREDNA companion tool. If you're not familiar with Buzzko, his career mode companion tool is based primarily around the COREDNA skill tree, which breaks clubs down into 7 key areas that you can invest in using DNA and trait points. The culture strand allows you to shape the overall ethos and philosophy of your club. Operations focuses on the club's finances. Recruitment and employment are all about your on-field and off-field staff. Investing in development allows you to improve your training and coaching, whilst investing in networking increases your ability to scout and sign players. And academy, of course, focuses on bringing youngsters up through the youth ranks and into the first team. However, COREDNA isn't only about the skill tree. It's a comprehensive companion tool that allows you to track your squad and statistics. It gives you a realistic budget each year by tracking your club's finances. It helps you to make realistic transfers with its realistic buying and selling calculators. And it includes a range of other rules and restrictions to keep your career mode saves as realistic and immersive as possible. So you can check out Buzzko's COREDNA companion tool using the link in the description. And whilst you're there, you might as well check out today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes just like this one. Enigma stock a wide range of football shirts from clubs from the Big 5 European leagues, from lesser known teams around the world, and even from national teams as well. And you can be 100% certain that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and the manufacturers directly. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99 and they can be as random or as customized as you like. Of course, you need to specify your shirt size, but you can also let Enigma know if there are any teams or leagues you would like to avoid, if there are any colors or designs that you would prefer, or you can just leave it entirely up to Enigma to choose for you. Enigma had a very good idea of what team I would like to receive, so they sent me this season's Crystal Palace shirt. This exact shirt on the Crystal Palace website would have cost me £60. But if you receive it in a mystery box, you get it almost half that price. And you can knock that price down even further by using code LAMSY at the checkout for a 10% discount on all first orders, including the first month of a mystery box subscription package. So if you're on the lookout for a Christmas gift for the diehard football fan in your life, or if you just want a fun and affordable way to expand your own shirt collection, check out Enigma Football. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMSY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring. Now let's get back to the video. Now, because we are only a lowly 1-star club, we only started out with 20 DNA and 2 trait points. So I had to choose very wisely where to invest them. I've invested 5 DNA points in the culture strand, each of which gives us an additional trait point, bringing us up to 6. I haven't yet invested anything in operations or recruitment or employment, so our backroom staff is going to be a little light to start out here in season 1. I did, however, invest 3 DNA points in development, each of which gives us an additional focused development plan, and I unlocked the practice makes perfect trait, which unlocks an additional coach and an additional level of coaching knowledge. I also invested 4 DNA points in networking, which gives us some additional scouting locations And I unlocked the global talent pool trait as well, which gives us an additional youth scout and an additional global transfer network scout. And finally, by far the most important aspect of our club, certainly in our first few seasons, will be our youth academy. So I invested 5 DNA points here, each of which unlocks an additional player slot in the academy. And I also invested 4 trait points here as well. Can't Win It With Kids gives us an additional 2 players that can promote to the first team per season. Grassroots football gives us a higher percentage chance of signing youth prospects from scouting trips. Eye for Talent unlocks 2 additional prospects that can be signed per scouting trip. And finally, Best in Class means we are guaranteed to be able to sign all youth prospects with a potential up to 80 overall. Although the Youth Academy might be the most important aspect of the club, we are currently limited to signing just 2-star scouts. And unfortunately, there weren't actually any available, so we've had to settle for 1 star for now. Similarly, our coaching staff is limited to just 1 star at the moment, and we're also limited to the silver tactical knowledge. However, because we're going to be using a custom preset, that's downgraded even a step further to bronze. But that custom preset will allow us to play a traditional 4-4-2 formation, but with a modern twist. Short passing with the build-up style and a relatively deep defensive line. We'll also be incorporating other modern elements into our play as well, with a false back on the left-hand side, as well as a false 9. And that system should suit our squad perfectly. In terms of our squad, we have 22-year-old Callum Broad starting in goal. We have the left back, Jamie Burns, 27 years old, just a 61 overall. We have the big, imposing Corey Hutchinson at centre-back, 6'4", captain of the side, but 30 years old. We have his young companion, Brandon Stokes, just 25 years old, 64 overall, and Elliot Hardy, a 61 overall, 19-year-old, just behind him. Reggie Seymour is going to provide a good amount of depth, not only at centre-back, but at CDM as well. At right back, we have a handful of options, but by far the best is 21-year-old Jordan Hobbs. He's a 62 overall. On the left-hand side, we have the 25-year-old Turkish midfielder Namdi El Fakiri, and on the opposite flank is the diminutive German Kai Fry, 63 overall at just 23 years of age. Centre midfield, we have the Irishman Sean Rose, just 22 years old. 22 years old for Adamola Kabore as well from the Ivory Coast, a 65 and a 62. Got a decent amount of depth in midfield as well with Frankie Webb, just 18 years old. Teddy Hooper is a bit more experienced, but is a 63 overall. Blake Bird, the same, experienced 31-year-old, 63 overall. And Charles Mann is going to be a solid role player this year as well. And then up front, we have the duo of the American Dave Williamson, just as big and imposing as the centre-back Corey Hutchinson, 65 overall at just 21 years of age. And he's going to be accompanied by Ethan Saint, the 5'7" Scotsman, 65 overall. Charlie Pierce is going to be our primary backup option at striker this season, just 18 years old, already a 61 overall. We do also have a handful of players in the Youth Academy, a 6'5" goalkeeper who looks like he's got a lot of potential, 78 to 94, with 3 different play styles. At 16 years old, he is only a 48 overall though, so a lot of room to grow if he is going to become a first team player here at Redmont. 55 overall, 17-year-old at centre-back, looks decent. Bjorn de Jong also looks like he's got a lot of potential, 82 to 94, but right now at 14 years old, he's only a 49 overall and 5'2". So literally a lot of room to grow. And then we have Morgan Oakley and Hiroya Matsuda. We are, however, restricted to just 6 spots in the Youth Academy. So if we do want to sign more than 1 player from our youth scouting trips, we're going to have to let somebody go. But with all that being said, I think we are just about ready to jump into some games here in episode 1. So without further ado, let's head over to Redmont Arena for not only the first game of the season, but of this long, arduous road to glory. So the road to glory is finally underway. It's taken us a little longer to get going here on FC 25 than I had anticipated, but we were waiting for COREDNA 2.0 to drop. Again, if you haven't checked that out already, make sure you do so. It is revolutionary to your career mode saves. And that's why we've waited so long to start this Road to Glory series. As Kabore kicks the season off with a bang. What a goal. Adamola Kabore with an absolute rocket into the top corner. And could our season have kicked off any better than that? An absolute worldie. The goalkeeper just off his line. And Kabore, after the ball being laid off by Sean Rose, absolutely fires it into the top corner. I did not anticipate that. But what a start to the season. What a start to the series. I think we're going to walk the league. I don't want to say this too early, especially as I just absolutely punt the ball out of play. I think we're going to walk League 2. I think the tactical system we've settled on is effective. I think the players that we have in the squad suit it to perfection. And already we've seen the talent that we have throughout the 11. Here we see Jamie Burns stepping up into that false back formation, or into that false back position rather. And he finds El Fakiri, who persists through the Carlisle challenges. And is Kabore going to make it too? He's not. The keeper gets across to make the save on this occasion. And Hobbs finds Fry. Again, Ethan Saint is in there. Again, El Fakiri brings it down, lays it off to Sean Rose. And it's going to be another Redmont Rangers corner. We are absolutely dominating here early in this game. But as I was saying, we will have to suspend our disbelief slightly more in this particular series than we do in the series with the real clubs, because it's a little easier to keep it realistic with a club like Crystal Palace. Whereas we're looking to get as far as possible in 8 to 10 seasons with a League 2 club. And in reality, a League 2 club in 8 to 10 years is still going to be yo-yoing between League 2 and League 1. Like, that's just the reality. It's so unlikely that a League 2 club could go on to Premier League football, and especially European football, in just 8 to 10 years. Clubs just don't grow that quickly. However, that's obviously what we're looking to achieve here in the series. So we'll be looking to impose as many rules, restrictions as possible to keep things as realistic and make things as difficult as possible. But I am hoping that by the end of 8 to 10 seasons, we'll be in the Premier League, we'll be in Europe, and we will hopefully have already won a trophy by then. But you can also get early access not only to the slider sets, but also to every new video that drops here on the channel by signing up to become a member. It's just $1.99 a month for early access. And there are additional tiers beyond that as well. One of which is to be included in my career mode saves. So we do have a couple of players in the starting 11 here at Redmont who I have created on behalf of members of the channel. So if you want to feature in any career mode series, not just this one, but the realistic or the real club career modes as well, then check out the various membership tiers on the channel. Williamson steals the ball away, gets the shot away, and buries it in the far corner. And there is our second goal of the game. It's been coming. And it's a disappointment, really, for Carlisle to concede in that way, because they did so well to hang on in the first half. Well, I say they did so well. They were just incredibly fortunate to hold on in the first half, only to concede with a terrible mistake in the second half, as their centre-back just gives the ball up to Dave Williamson, who makes absolutely no mistake with the finish. And as I said, I think we're going to walk the league. I think we're going to absolutely dominate League 2. I think when we start getting to League 1 and the Championship is going to be a little more difficult. El Fakiri. I would like Dave Williamson to pick up a decent position in the box for the cross there. He didn't really do so. Ethan Saint, though, has picked up a nice position and makes it 3. One touch to turn, one touch to finish, and we are absolutely dominant. An hour into the game, a 3-0 lead, And I think we can start thinking about making changes now, because this is comfortable. So, triple change for Redmont Rangers, as Carlisle will make a change as well. Charlie White to come on. But it is going to be Namdi El Fakiri, Sean Rose and Ethan Saint to leave the field. Pearce, Hooper and Bird, the players on to replace them. So we'll get a good look, not only at the starting 11, but a handful of kind of squad players today as well. Charlie Pearce, another striker I'm very excited about. I think we've got 3 really good options up front in Williamson and Saint. Pearce is kind of a hybrid between the two. Not really a target man. I think he's maybe 6'1". Not exactly a poacher like Ethan Saint either, but kind of somewhere in between. Bit more of an all-rounder. It's a good shot from Carlisle. It's far too little, far too late. Waiting to the last 10 minutes or so to get a decent shot away. Biggins. Vela for Carlisle. Kabore there to do his defensive duties once more. Lobbed into the box though from Carlisle and brought down and parried just about clear by Callum Broad. I think thankfully the offside flag was up, and it was. But Hutchinson and Stokes have been caught out on a couple of occasions today by Armstrong. And it wasn't a convincing save from Callum Broad either. Just about managed to parry it away at his near post, but that could have easily snuck in. Hooper finds Pearce. Again, he's just going to shoot from range, and again is parried clear by the keeper. Blake Bird can't quite get there. And again, it's an awful mistake, and it is bundled into the back of the net by Blake Bird. The Carlisle keeper has been less than convincing today, to say the least. We saw him almost give away a goal earlier on, rolling the ball out directly to Kai Fry. And here, I mean, his centre-back has put him in a horrific position there, to be fair. You have to blame that more on the centre-back than you do on the keeper. But he tries to take a touch and clear it. Blake Bird steals it away and bundles it over the line to make it 4-0 Redmont Rangers. It's back-to-back home games as we take on Barnsley in the first round of the Carabao Cup. I wouldn't mind a little cup run, so we have sent out the strongest 11 once more for this one. And Callum Broad wasn't called upon too many times against Carlisle, but he was in good form when he was. He was in good form again here, parrying away with an excellent save to keep things level early. And although we are several rungs below Barnsley in the Football League ladder, that didn't stop us taking the lead as Namdi El Fakiri pulled it back across the 6-yard box for Dave Williamson to tap home. Sean Rose, too, was influential against Carlisle, and he proved his worth here again against Barnsley, striking from just outside the penalty area and crashing his shot against the bar. And when Corey Hutchinson found himself in an unusually advanced position and the ball fell to him in the Barnsley box, it looked as though he was going to secure victory for us, but he put his shot just wide. And that, of course, set the stage for the Barnsley comeback. A late free kick rebounding off the post, only to be tapped into an empty net to make it 1-1. And we actually missed all 3 of our opening penalties, which meant Barnsley just needed to put the ball in the net for a third and final time. And that's exactly what they managed to do. So we do crash out of the Carabao Cup at the first time of asking, albeit against some fairly tough opposition. And it's going to be an unlikely first against second in our third game of the episode as we take on Barrow. So Bentley comes in to make his first start at right back for this one. Reggie Seymour making his first start, though not his first appearance of the season. And Blake Bird also comes in at right midfield. Charlie Pearce starts up front alongside Ethan Saint for this one. And it is another high-scoring game, but it's a defeat, our first defeat in League 2, as we open the scoring early through Sean Rose. Ethan Saint, however, narrowly misses a penalty. What difference that could have made, because Spence scores 2 goals back-to-back for Barrow, which makes it level pegging heading into the halftime break. Rose back on the score sheet just after, but Telford again brings Barrow back level. Ethan Saint makes up for his penalty miss late, but Spence grabs his third of the game just a minute later to make it 4-3 Barrow in a thriller. But we are back to full strength as we take on Salford City at Redmont Arena in our 4th game of the episode, forced to wear the away kit for this one. And though this performance wasn't quite as dominant as the previous couple, it was still a solid professional performance. Dave Williamson was unlucky not to open the scoring very early in the game, but when Kai Fry found him on a forward run in the penalty area, he took one touch and fired to open the scoring. And then just 5 minutes later, he was able to repay the favour, the ball falling to him on the edge of the box. It was Kai Fry's turn to make his forward run this time, and his turn indeed to tuck it into the far corner to make it 2-0 early. And from there, we just tried our best to control the game to limit the chances of Salford City, which we managed to do. And when they did get a shot away, Callum Broad was inevitably equal to it. So we did end up coming away with the 2-0 victory to continue our very, very strong start, not just in the season, but in particular at home. So if we can keep that streak of good results at Redmont Arena alive here against Doncaster, it would have been an excellent opening episode. And I guess we technically do keep the streak of good results going because we do come away with a point. I would have liked 3, but considering Doncaster opened the scoring within 4 minutes, we probably did well to grab a Brandon Stokes equaliser and come away with just a point. But already the third kit is making its debut. It's the purple on purple with the white trim, which I think is a particularly good look for us. And hopefully it's going to serve as a positive omen as we take on Fleetwood Town. Second place Fleetwood Town, just a position above us in the table. 3 automatic promotion places in League 1, of course. So we do have that extra opportunity. Did I say League 1? I meant in League 2. We do have that extra opportunity to make it up to League 1 here in Season 1. El Fakiri finds Ethan Saint. And that's a terrible challenge, is it not? And it is. Surely there's going to be a booking here as well. It doesn't look to be the case, actually. Challenge from behind from the Fleetwood Town, I would guess midfielder. Catches Ethan Saint, prevents him from getting the shot away. But no booking. So Sean Rose just outside the penalty area. Will get an opportunity to curl this into the top corner. Doesn't get over the wall. Jamie Burns, though, will collect. And we'll look for Kai Fry on the far side, who nods it down to Ethan Saint, who does get the shot away this time and cracks the bar. Our first shot on goal, I believe, of the game. And it had the goalkeeper beaten all ends up. Unfortunately, absolutely thundered the woodwork. Kabore steals the ball away, though. Williamson finds Ethan Saint, who beats one man, and the keeper makes an incredible save. Should have been tucked in the corner from Ethan Saint. Should have been a certain goal. But it's a fantastic save from the keeper. Just to be patient, just to wait until Saint committed to one direction or the other. And then to parry the ball away. We really should be 1-0 up. That's a deep cross towards the back post, nodded down, and it's a massive save from Callum Broad. Really good reflexes diving away to his right. And we will bring Nnamdi El Fakiri off. It's going to be Blake Bird to come on before the corner is taken. We saw Bird pop up with a goal against Carlisle in our opening game of the season. So, wouldn't be against that here by any means. Callum Broad. Can we get a quick counter-attack? Oh my God, what are you doing? Just trying to lay the ball into the path of Brandon Stokes. And Fleetwood thankfully put it wide. Moment of absolute madness from Callum Broad. It's another nice little run from Ethan Saint. We're not going to be able to find him though. But I feel like they each had a bit more of an impact against Carlisle than either of them have managed to have here. So potentially we'll make the switch an hour into the game and see if that changes things for us. Ethan Saint goes down, penalty ref, and it is a penalty. I wondered if he might say it was just outside the box, because I think when he initiated his slide he was just outside the box, and it's clear that he was. But of course the decision is not made based on where the defender initiated his slide. It's going to be made where the foul occurred. And the contact certainly occurred inside the penalty area, and Dave Williamson has a chance to put us ahead. We did miss several penalties against Barnsley in our Carabao Cup game in episode 1, though. In fact, we missed all 3 of our penalties in that shootout, which saw us crash out of the Carabao Cup in the first round. Dave Williamson makes no mistake this time, though. Sends the keeper the wrong way, plants the ball in the bottom corner. It's an excellent penalty, and we finally have the lead away from home against Fleetwood Town. Hobbs finds Kabore, lofted into the path of Williamson, who brings it down on his chest and buries it. That is exactly what we needed. Kabore, Fleetwood Town looking like they might score at one end. Quick counter-attack, reminiscent of those that we might undertake in the Crystal Palace save. Looking to play a bit more possession-style football in this particular save. But it was a quick counter-attack that doubled our lead on that occasion. And it's a second goal for Williamson, a second goal for Redmont. And I think that's going to be enough to give us victory. We've defended fairly well today, but Fleetwood Town have managed to break us down on a handful of occasions. Man, we'll just continue to drive. Oh my God. Goal of the season for Kabore? Maybe not, because Charles Mann has just, at the very least, equaled Kabore's effort from episode 1 and potentially has exceeded it. Not quite so far out. I think Kabore's range was sort of 25, 26 yards, whereas this is more sort of 20-ish for Charles Mann, but it does go in off the post. And there is, of course, or there are, of course, always style points available if the shot goes in off the woodwork. And in El Fakiri's absence, Dominic Norman wants a shot at the first team. But after that goal scored by Charles Mann in that last game, I don't think we can make any other decision but give him the first crack. So that'll be our one change as we head into our second game of the episode, taking on Notts County at home at Redmont Arena. And it's another point on the board, but probably disappointing only to get a point. However, Notts County did miss a penalty in the 78th minute, so actually potentially lucky to walk away with a draw. Daniel Norman will get a shot in the first team as we take on Cheltenham away from home in our third game of the episode, though. Tom Hooper also comes into the starting lineup for this one, and we absolutely rollick them 3-0. Sean Rose gets, I believe, his first and second goal, actually, of the season. First in the 29th minute, and then just after the halftime break, Ethan Saint, I think, grabs his first goal of the series as well. I do think Blake Bird is likely our best option there, though, so he will return for our fourth and final game of the episode as we host Bradford at Redmont Arena. Charlie Pearce comes in alongside Dave Williamson for his first start of the season for this one as well. But unfortunately, Pearce's day lasted only 12 minutes as Brandon Stokes made this last-ditch challenge and saw red. And not only did that mean we were forced into a substitution early, but it also meant we were a goal down thanks to this spectacular free kick from Cook, curling it into the top corner. And once Bradford had the impetus, they were difficult to stop. They created chance after chance. Thankfully, Callum Broad was again in good form. We managed to hold them off for long enough for Jamie Burns to stumble into the penalty area, pull the ball back across goal. The centre-back for Bradford made a hash of it, and Kai Fry tapped in for the equaliser. So Bradford once more pushed for a winning goal in the game, but League 2 Player of the Week Callum Broad continued to keep them at bay. But 75 minutes into the game, after a quick turnover of possession, Cook found himself alone in the box and grabbed his and Bradford's second goal of the game to give them the lead once more. But up stepped Charles Mann. He carried the ball past 4 Bradford players and absolutely unleashed a thunderous strike which went in off the post for the second time in the episode. And after Bradford went down to 10 men in the final 10 minutes of the game, we did manage to hang on to the 2-2 scoreline, so we did take a point from the game despite playing with 10 men for 80 plus minutes, and despite going down, or behind rather, twice, and it was thanks once more in no small part to the unlikely star of today's episode and potentially of this first season, Charles Mann. So let's jump straight into the Port Vale game. I think we should play this one as well as the Blackpool game after it. For those that haven't seen them, this is the home kit, the traditional Redmont Rangers red and black stripes. We got the almost all white away, and then the purple on purple third kits. I really like these ones this year, but we'll go with the home kit. So yeah, Dave Williamson, just not himself in episode 3. So hoping to get him back on the score sheet today. Hopefully not just once, but several times. We have so many games to cover. We're playing, well, we are covering playing and simming double-digit games. So not unreasonable that we could ask him to get towards double-digit goals. Maybe hitting the double digits is a bit much to ask. Sean Rose finds Stokes, who switches the play to Hobbs, and it's a good ball, to be fair. Kabore finds Rose. And Charlie Pearce, who is starting up front in place of Ethan Saint today. Charlie Pearce, a young striker. A lot to learn at the position. Still very raw. But a lot of potential. That's a good run from Kai Fry. And Kabore just about finds him. Kabore once more. 2 Port Vale defenders in his way. Sean Rose is going to get the shot away with the left foot. Parried away by the keeper. The routine save was pretty much straight at him, but there was a lot of power on the strike, and it looked like there was a bit of movement behind the effort as well. It's a nice ball in behind, though, towards Curtis, who lifts it into the box, and Callum Broad punches clear. Callum Broad has been excellent. Another, and Stokes has been completely blocked off there. That's got to be a foul. That's got to be a foul. This is a basketball. You can't just set a screen for the centre-back. But Port Vale have the lead. We've kind of gone to sleep there. We've squandered possession multiple times in our own defensive third. And just as I was about to talk up Callum Broad, League 2 Player of the Week, he concedes a goal. Not his fault by any means. And 2 minutes of added time have almost elapsed. So we are going to be going into the halftime break with a 1-goal deficit. And I don't think changes are necessary at half-time. Let me know what you think in the chat, though. We have Charles Mann on the bench, who scored 2 incredible goals in the previous episode, and an incredible goal in the episode before that. We have Blake Bird on the bench. We have Teddy Hooper. We don't have a substitute striker on the bench. Not a true striker, because Charlie Pearce is currently starting. Ethan Saint is currently injured. And our only other striker is Lewis. And he's awful. I think he's a 52 overall. Oh, Hobbs is beaten. Slipped into the path of the Port Vale number 10. And it's a perfect ball. What a goal. Really good goal, to be fair. There's not too much we can do about that one. The first goal entirely preventable. The second one not so much. And we find ourselves 2-0 down away from home. That's a goal and an assist, is it not, for the number 10? Put it on an absolute plate for the Port Vale midfielder. Oh, it's the Port Vale striker. It's the number 9. It's a goal and an assist each. El Fakiri, what a run. Still going. Still going. Still going. Squares it for Williamson, who grabs one back. What a run from Nnamdi El Fakiri. One of the easiest goals that Dave Williamson will ever score. And that's all thanks to the mazy, relentless, unstoppable run of Nnamdi El Fakiri. Skipped past one, skipped past another, and thought, I've beaten 2, why not try a third? Why not try a fourth? And Williamson taps it in from 6 yards. And I think we'll make a change or two here. Webb. It's a good run from El Fakiri. El Fakiri into the box. Squares it for Pearce. Can't quite find him. Williamson. Finds Bird. Hooper had made a good run and he stopped. It was the perfect run. Blake Bird into the box. Finds Pierce. Lays it off for Webb. Blocked by Port Vale. And Charlie Mann is offside. The equaliser's coming. He's just offside as well, isn't he? He's offside by a big toe. Bring back the idea of being level. Port Vale just kind of sat on their single goal advantage in this second half, really. As soon as they grabbed that second goal, they've really caused very little threat. And they are just trying to see out these last couple of minutes with possession. And currently there's not a whole lot we can do about it. Into stoppage time, 3 minutes. Minute and a half of which has already elapsed. That's well won from Jamie Burns, though. And we could get one final opportunity to grab an equaliser. Mann beats two. Can he put it in the back of the net? Yes, he can! Charles Mann is the unlikely hero once again. I mean, at this stage, he's just a likely hero. Again, you've missed those 2 goals in episode 3. But he was an unlikely hero in episode 2. He followed that up with an unbelievable performance in episode 3. And here in the episode 3 take 2, he's grabbed another late equaliser. Away from home. Almost certainly to grab a point. With the last kick of the game. What a player. I need to check this guy's age. I think he's not that old. A handful of our midfielders, like Blake Bird, like Teddy Hooper, are a little on the old side. In their early 30s. I think Charles Mann is slightly younger, though. So he could be a fixture of the Redmont side for years to come, potentially. So Salford beat us 3-0 in the BSM Trophy last time out. And I'm a little unclear about exactly how the BSM Trophy works in-game, because my understanding is in real life there are 4 teams per group, whereas we only have 3. I think the 4th team per group in real life is an academy team from Championship and Premier League clubs, potentially. So I'm guessing those obviously aren't in the game. So that's where the missing team is from. But what, we just play Salford City and Blackpool? We just play 2 games rather than 3 in the group? So I'm assuming we need to win this game. And I'm assuming if we beat Blackpool, then we will progress. However, like I said, I'm not entirely sure, so we'll have to see. But let's play the Blackpool game, and then I think we will have to get to quick simming. Let's quick sim Crewe, let's quick sim Walsall, and then we'll play MK Dons in the FA Cup as well. We're in a comfortable position in League 2, and we've got plenty of League 2 games coming up in December, so we can afford to quick sim a couple here in November. In behind, brings it down. Can he finish? Oh my god. No, he can't. It was not ideal. The less said about that, the better, I think. So Blackpool with a corner as the remaining minutes of the first half ebb away. Kai Fry steals the ball away. Oh, but can't find Pierce. Kai Fry has been probably one of the bigger disappointments in the series so far. And that's a great ball in behind. And Blackpool have worked an incredible opportunity and have stolen the lead just before half-time. Really nice goal. Great ball into the striker. Pulls Corey Hutchinson across, which just leaves a man completely unmarked, and he buries it. Nothing Callum Broad can do about that one, but Brandon Stokes steps up to make the challenge. Doesn't win the ball. Forces Corey Hutchinson to come over, and it's just squared and buried. Really good goal from Blackpool, to be fair. Stokes forces it backwards, but Blackpool in control of the game now on the scoreboard, so don't have to push too much for an additional goal in this second half. And like Port Vale, they can just try and ebb away the remaining period of the game. Oh, Elijah Hurst does well. And again, the referee cannot be wearing black. I've tried to pass the ball straight to the referee there. And he just sidesteps out of the way. And thankfully, it hits the stanchion. El Fakiri once more. Pearce is in the box, as is Williamson. Blocked and over. I thought it was going to loop into the back of the net there. And it's a shot from range, and it's really well saved by Callum Broad. I think he's been the player of the season so far, Callum Broad. And I think Dave Williamson is running him close. I mean, Sean Rose too has been very good. But Callum Broad has just been an absolute stalwart in the post. Just a brick wall at times. Delivered into the box. Off the bar. So close to being 2-0 down. 2 minutes from the end of the game. But Brandon Stokes carries it clear. There's Lewis. And lays it into the path of Charles Mann. I'm looking at the referee. And I was so tempted to try and pass to him again. He was making a perfect run, the ref. We could use him at centre midfield, to be fair, if those are the kinds of runs he's going to make. Kabore. Is there a wonder goal in him to equalise? Straight at the keeper. Hooked clear by Blackpool. I mean, he just tried to get his head down and put his foot through it, Kabore, which he managed to do. You've just got to get it on target there and just ask a question of the goalkeeper. Lewis tries to find a run of Williamson, but doesn't manage it. And it looks like we're going to lose back-to-back games in the BSM Trophy. And I assume crash out of the competition. We will have to see. But I'm 99% sure we're done if we lose this game. To be fair, I'm 99% sure we're done if we draw. Because even then, Salford would be on 4 points. Blackpool would be on 2. We would be on 1. But I guess we will find out. But we do have another game at Redmont Arena, taken on Crew Alexandra, and we will just be quick simming this one. And we lose 3-2. So it's been a less than ideal episode so far. Sean Rose does get on the score sheet, as does Blake Bird. But it's back-to-back defeats, and we have only a draw to show for our efforts in the episode so far. So let's quick sim against Walsall and hopefully get the win, and we do. It's a narrow win, but that doesn't matter. 3 points is 3 points. Brandon Stokes grabs a goal in the first half. And Walsall will equalise 64 minutes in, but Pearce grabs the winner just a minute later. That's a big 3 points. All right, so MK Dons, Redmont Rangers, FA Cup. First FA Cup fixture of the series, and it's intent on forcing us to run out with a clash of kits. Another Molten Road team down in League 2, MK Dons. MK Dons Stadium is pretty much what Redmont Arena is modelled on. That kind of purpose-built, smaller stadium, but modern, up-to-date, and built as a venue as well as a sports stadium, really. Shering finds Thompson, Summers and Kelly. Burns, what a ball in behind. First time for Schultz. Brandon Stokes can't make the interception, and Hutchinson just allows the MK Don striker all the time and space that he wants there. Brandon Stokes potentially should have been a little more proactive in the challenge, but look at Hutchinson. He just stands and watches. And again, I feel like we've let Callum Broad down. Potentially, he should be doing a little better there at his near post. But Stokes and Hutchinson just have not been on the same page today. And Charlie Pearce is not going to take this. We'll take it with Sean Rose, and we will go for goal. We'll try and curl it into the top corner at the near post here. And it looks good. And it's parried away by the keeper. Somehow stays in play as well. I thought that was going to curl into that near post and nestle into the side netting. Oh, it's a beautiful free kick from Sean Rose. It deserved the goal. But an equally good save from the MK Dons goalkeeper, to be fair. That's a good ball from Brandon Stokes to Kai Fry. Namdi El Fakiri wins the header. And we've got runners ahead, one of whom is Charlie Pearce. And we've got Williamson square. And I have a correction to issue. I said earlier in the episodes that Dave Williamson's goal is going to be the easiest one he's ever scored. I think that one was slightly easier. The goal in the first game against Port Vale was from 6 yards out. I think this one maybe was from 4. It's from the exact same distance. It's almost a carbon copy goal. It's from the exact same distance, just inside the 6-yard box. But we do have an equaliser in the FA Cup. And I'd like to say it's been coming. And to be fair, in the second half, I think it has. Broad finds Hobbs. He finds Kai Fry. And Williamson has made the run in behind. And he's going to get there. And he's going to shrug off the challenge of Tucker. He's going to square for Charlie Pearce. And it looked, for all the world, as if Williamson had repaid the favour. But it's a fantastic reflex stop from the MK Dons keeper. And it is all Redmont Rangers now. An hour into the game as Kai Fry delivers. And Kabore just kind of heads it, but nowhere. He got his head to the ball, but the ball didn't seem to go anywhere. Sean Rose. El Fakiri at the back post. Wins the header on the second attempt. Can't turn it either towards goal or towards a Redmont teammate, though. And that's a dangerous pass, which Charlie Pearce almost steals away. MK Dons mounting a decent attack here, though. And played in behind. Linesman waving for a foul, but referee plays advantage. And it's good defending from Kabore, but the MK Don striker gets the shot away nonetheless. Thankfully, it is hooked clear. And Pearce wins it. And could be in behind. And could have Williamson square once more. It's just Charlie Pearce all alone this time, and he does get his goal. Terrible, terrible mistake from the MK Dons defender. It looked as though he had everything under control there. But Charlie Pearce stole the ball away. A last-ditch, desperate lunging challenge from his covering teammate is not enough to put Charlie Pearce off his stride. And it's a composed finish. He showed not only a selflessness earlier when he squared it for Dave Williamson, but some composure as well. And he's shown composure there once more, despite his youth, to tuck it past the MK Dons keeper to give us what I believe is our first lead of the episode, is it not? Ilunga finds Lee. MK Dons in their final desperate attempts to grab an equaliser here. The substitute Lecco lofts it into the box. Sean Rose well positioned to head clear, and Kai Fry puts his head where it hurts. Manages to see out the last couple of seconds of the game. And we do finally have a victory. A victory in games played anyway. We had one in simulation, but we do finally have a win in a full game as well. Thanks in no small part to Charlie Pearce, who set up Dave Williamson for the equaliser and then grabbed the winner himself. Fantastic performance from the youngster. And I feel like maybe we got away with one there. But let's go with this lineup for the next game against Wimbledon. We have 6 games to get to currently in December. I don't see another BSM trophy game, so we are out of that competition. But we do already have a trip to a big club in the FA Cup to get to. And that's going to be in January against Burnley in the 3rd round. So let's play another 2 of these League 2 games. We've played MK Dons already. I don't think we need to play them again. I think let's play Colchester. That's in my neck of the woods here in East Anglia. I have been to Colchester Stadium before, actually, so we'll visit them. And let's play Wimbledon. Let's jump straight into another game against Wimbledon. We'll play Colchester to round out the episode. And we'll quick sim everything in between. We are currently second. Fleetwood currently running away with it in top spot in League 2. 35 points. But they've lost more games than us. They've lost 4 games. They've only drawn 2, though. 1-11. Whereas we have only lost 3, but we've only won 8. We've scored more goals than them, though. And we are joint along with Fleetwood and Swindon Town for, I was going to say, the fewest goals conceded. But Notts County, all the way down in 9th, have only conceded 13. And actually, Gillingham have only conceded 12. So, a distinct inability to put the ball in the back of the net for Notts County and Gillingham is very much holding them back. Because they are the joint best defences in the league at this stage. And they really should be higher up the table. Kai Fry finds Williamson. Bentley in for Hobbs today. Also needs a boot change by the looks of it. Lewis. And it's a good run from Kabore. The pass is a poor one, though. You can tell Lewis is a 52. Just, the inputs are not accurate. The close control is just not there. He's just not a good player at this point. Playing him, though, is the quickest way to develop him. And if he's going to become a Redmont Rangers player in the long run, he needs to be on the pitch to either show that he can or cannot do that. Lewis with another chance to grab his first goal for the club. Can't even get the shot away on this occasion. Carbottle for Wimbledon. Lofts it up towards a fellow Wimbledon player, but headed clear by Sean Rose. And Lewis can drive with Charles Mann and Dave Williamson outside him. Charles Mann was looking for Lewis once more. I don't even know Lewis's first name. I think maybe it's Alex. I want to go with Alex Lewis. Could not find him, though. Elijah Hurst. He continues to impress as well. Jamie Burns, our best left back. But Elijah Hurst is not bad. He is more than adequate each time he steps in for Jamie Burns for one reason or another. Man pressing. Lewis doing the same. He's definitely got youth about him, Lewis. He's definitely got the energy. The kind of quick turn of pace. The willingness to press that comes with youth. Rose can come away. Horrible challenge. We should see another booking here. Potentially our first red card of the episode. I think it's just going to be a booking, though. And it is red this time. I was less expectant of a red card for this particular challenge than I was for the earlier one. And Josh Kelly is going to come on for Wimbledon as they make an early change, half an hour into the game. Going down to 10 men. And we really should be able to go on to win this game now. Because we've started the brighter. We are the better side. And now we have a man advantage as well. We just have to make the man advantage count. Kabore finds Charles Mann. And we are still searching for our goal. Kabore could have it here. Pokes it towards goal with his right foot. And we could have done with him lashing across the ball with his left there, really, rather than just prodding at it with his right. And it really, it feels like we are a goal up. It feels like it's 1-0. And it just isn't. We still need to work to take all 3 points in this game. Especially since Wimbledon are down to 10 men and Sean Rose has been dragged down there. No card on this occasion. But Sean Rose completely dictating the game in central midfield today. Charles Mann. Twisting, turning, but just has to go back to Elijah Hurst. And Sean Rose finds Bentley with space to drive. Plays it in behind for Kai Fry. Just has to keep the ball in play. Finds Williamson, who buries it. Third goal of the episode. And it's a big goal, and we finally have our lead at Redmont Arena. And it's been coming. We just need to work to maintain this lead now. Clean sheet. And all 3 points are ours. Really good finish, just through the legs of the Wimbledon defender. Excellent finish from Williamson. And he's found his scoring boots again. Well won from Hutchinson. It's a loose pass, but Sean Rose just about gets there and drops it into the path of Dave Williamson. And Lewis couldn't make up his mind. He started to make a run across the 6-yard box. And then he kind of pulled back towards the penalty spot. Oh, and Brandon Stokes wins the header. Against the odds. I didn't think he was going to win that. Stokes finds Hurst. And Blake Bird. I mean, I think he could have got there. I'm not sure why he gave up on that so quickly, Blake Bird. That was a decent pass. Dave Williamson can't win it back despite the high press. Blake Bird the same. Sean Rose almost nicks it. But Elijah Hurst does the defensive duties as he has so often. Charles Mann, can he bundle it in? No, he can't. He can knock himself out on the post. Again, I was kind of waiting for a run across the 6-yard box there with Williamson. Never ended up coming, but oh, what have they done? 2-0. Awful mistake. Awful mistake from the Wimbledon defence. Absolutely gifts us a second goal. And that's the game. It just passed it straight to Williamson. Never going to miss from there. Williamson is one of those players who he scores a lot of goals. And every goal that he scores is just a sitter. It's just one that you can't miss. And I'm not disparaging him at all. It's a skill in itself to be in the position to score those kinds of easy goals. And it's a sign that he's as much a player kind of between the ears as he is with the ball at his feet. His game is as much about being an intelligent player than being a skillful one or even an athletic one. I mean, it's a good mix of all three, really. 6'5", decently pacey. He's a good athlete, decent enough technical attributes as well. But so much of his game is just peeling off the shoulder of the last defender, picking up positions in the box to tap home. And we've seen it again there. Sean Rose wins the header. Blake Bird with a good run, but Lewis just drives. Beats the Wimbledon defender. He makes a rash challenge, and Lewis just can't find the back of the net. Just cannot find the back of the net. Callum Broad hooks clear. Referee's final whistle goes. Comfortable 2-0 victory is exactly what we needed. So Elliot Hardy has requested a transfer, so it looks like he's going to be on his way out. He's worth 1.3 million though, so we can get $1.5 million for him. So we can spend about $1 million on one player at the very least in January. So are there any players you think that we should target? Left back potentially is a position we could look to improve. Jamie Burns is decent, but he's a 62 overall at 28 years of age. And Elijah Hurst is 31. So we don't really have kind of a young option here to take over from either of those players once they move on. Centre back, I think we're fine. Midfield, I think we're fine. We could potentially use another striker. So we are, of course, without Ethan Saint, who will be returning soon. 4 weeks. Yeah, so he'll be back in January. Dave Williamson, of course, is our star striker. And Charlie Pierce has looked good in today's episode. But beyond that, it's actually Ellis Lewis. I'm not sure why I thought his name was Alex. Potentially another depth striker could be a position to add. We did mention earlier as well that we've got a lot of depth in midfield at the moment, but with Hooper, Mann, and Bird, aged 29, 30, and 31 respectively, potentially centre midfield, like with Ronan Darcy, could be a good position to target as well. So I'm thinking left back, striker, centre midfield are the 3 areas that we really need to look at. So Morecambe away in the purple third kit, and we lose. Sean Rose grabs a goal late on, but Lewis and Dackers grab the win. Fleetwood lost as well, though. That's a silver lining at the very least. And we lose back-to-back games in League 2 against Morecambe and against Tranmere. This is the danger of the quick sim. Kai Fry gets himself sent off as well. So Norman to start at right midfield. I think we can just run out the strongest 11 other than that. I've seen no reason to put anybody else in the side. Elliot Hardy is completely out of the picture now. There's no point playing him when he's submitted a transfer request. And actually, we need to keep an eye on that because that's yet another bug in the game. 0-0. We get a point at the very least. Newport, our final quick sim game of the episode. And our results in quick sim have been horrific, to say the least. Norman, you're out. Bird, you are in. Rose is going to have to come out as well for Hooper. And I think we start Mann up front, if we can find him. Where is Charles Mann? Here he is. We'll start Charles Mann up front for this one. 3 points, I think, is necessary against 16th place Newport County. At home, with a strong 11. And we do get all 3 points. Williamson, again, cropping up with a goal late in the game to grab the winner. Bird opened the scoring for us early. So let's check on the tables. We head into our final game of the episode against Colchester, and we've dropped all the way down to 5th position. Yes, those couple of fixtures in the quick sim have really come back to bite us. However, we are only a win off top spot still. So still very, very tight at the top. Williamson is knackered. Charles Mann, even more so. So Pierce is going to start up front alongside Lewis. It's going to be Pierce and Lewis, the 19 and 20-year-olds. Oh, Samson Tavide starting up front for Colchester. So real OGs of the channel, if there are any in the chat, I imagine there's probably not at this stage. But I wonder if there's any OGs in the chat who remember the very first season of Redmont Rangers. And we signed Samson Tavide. He was one of our very first signings in the OG Redmont Rangers series, which was the very first series on the channel.
Thank you. Enjoy the game.
I wouldn't recommend going back and watching it if you haven't seen it already, because, as I said, the very first series on the channel, it wasn't the best series. It's not the highest quality content you will see on YouTube. However, Samson Tavide was a player I was very excited about. He didn't really live up to expectations at Redmont. But he was a kind of big, strong, pacey. He was kind of the prototypical modern athlete up front. But just never panned out in terms of the technical ability. He's Adam Eder. He's Adam Eder. Massive. Strong. Pacey. But can't play football. That's who Samson Tavide was, for us at the very least. Whether he is that kind of player in real life, I'm not sure. And we could be behind early here. What a save, Callum Broad, hooked clear by Bentley. Gordon for Colchester. Thompson once more. Thompson, the danger man for Colchester. Down the left-hand side by the looks of things. Again, I'm not massively familiar with the Colchester side. I'm more familiar with Colchester sides of the past. I actually saw Jimmy Bullard play when I saw Colchester. It would have been back when I was following Ipswich. I think it was probably a pre-season friendly at the time when Ipswich had just signed Jimmy Bullard. So I saw Jimmy Bullard play against Colchester at their stadium, which was a sight to behold. He was getting on a bit then, Jimmy Bullard, but he definitely still had it. I think they could do it relatively low cost and relatively low effort. And Billiters, how has that ended up in the back of the net? I don't care. It has. Brandon Stokes gets his first goal of the episode, and we lead 1-0 at Colchester. The difference between 60 overall and anything less is so tangible. I think 60 overall really is the big drop-off point. Players in the low 60s compared to players in the high 50s in terms of overall is just, it's so clear. Far more clear than players, you know, in the high 60s compared to the low 70s, for example. Just players like Davison, Lewis, you can almost do nothing with them. But then even players like Jamie Burns, who's only a 62 overall, he just feels like a much better player. The same goes for Pearce. And here's Fry. 2-0. Fry squeezes it in at the far post. And this one is going to be a comfortable victory. It's 2-0 before half-time. This is the performance we've been looking for. Kabore can't quite put the foot in. Davidson chasing it down. Egbo for Colchester. And Samson Tavide gets one of his first touches of the game. He's been almost completely anonymous so far. And he does very little with his first couple of touches. Colchester do have an injury to Gordon, so they may be making a change momentarily. Tavide once more. Finds his strike partner, but it's blocked well by Hutchinson. And Bird finds Lewis, who collects and drives. Just turns back, though. We don't need to force the issue too much. 2-0 up, late in the game. In a game in which we are comfortable. Pearce steals it away. Lewis, get in the box. Oh, it's an impeccable challenge. Perfectly timed. I was never going to shoot with Charlie Pearce. Not 2-0 up with seconds on the clock. Desperate to get Lewis's first goal. Again, I have no idea why. He's a nothing player. He's a 52 overall who is probably not going to still be in the squad in Season 2. But it's just a point of principle now. But a 2-0 victory to round out the episode. A comfortable professional victory. A decent enough performance. Let's check in on the statistics around the league and within the team. So we have Dave Williamson down in 9th with 9 goals in 19 games. He had such a quick start to the season, but has quietened down in the last couple of episodes. Andy Cook with a massive 16 goals so far. Do we have anybody in the assists table? We do have Sean Rose with 5. And I believe we are going to see Callum Broad roaring ahead in the clean sheet race with a massive 11. And let's take a look at the stats for the team in general. So 9 goals and 2 assists for Williamson, 7 and 5 for Rose. Continues to have an excellent season. 4 goals for Saint and for Charles Mann, 3 and 3 for Fry, 3 for Bird, couple of goals for a handful of other players. So we are going with pretty much our strongest 11 for this game. Callum Broad in goal. We've got Hobbs back at right back. We've got Hutchinson and Stokes at centre back. Burns at left back. In fact, with the exception of Ethan Saint, who is still injured, it is the strongest 11 that we started the season with. Kabore, who's intercepted the ball there in midfield alongside Sean Rose. El Fakiri on one flank, Kai Fry on the other. And the big man Dave Williamson up front alongside the youngster Charlie Pearce. And it's good football early. We can't quite find Williamson with the pullback though. Dave Williamson. Early chance. Pokes it towards goal with his right. Parried away by the Gillingham keeper. Pretty much straight at him, to be fair. That's well won by Sean Rose. But he can't find Pearce. The defensive lines are far more engaged now as well. So that was obviously a big focus of the most recent title update. And you can certainly see that. And again, with the slightly increased line height and the slightly decreased line length, I think that's helped as well. But defensive lines, they don't set up so deep. At times, defensive lines were kind of setting up on the edge of the 6-yard box. And at the very most, kind of between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. And it's just too deep. And they weren't really engaged either. Teams would, you know... Oh, no. 1-0 Gillingham. 1-0 Gillingham. Nevitt fires Gillingham into the lead. And we allowed him far too much space. Hutchinson, Stokes. Lack of communication in the centre of our defence. Yeah, Nevitt just picks up an intelligent space between the two defenders. And slots it away. Nice finish. Blake Bird cutting inside off that left flank. And he's put too much on it. Oh, he does find Hobbs though. Hobbs just about keeps it in. Kabore once more. Sean Rose. Kabore again. This time he will shoot. It's a decent effort. Parried again. Up and into the back of the net from Williamson. We saw the goalkeeper do exactly the same earlier in the game. And it was a Gillingham defender who was first to the ball. Not on this occasion. This time it's Williamson who punishes the goalkeeper's inability to parry over the bar with a free header, essentially. And we are back in the game. So Kai Fry to deliver. Stokes towards the back post, can't get there. Jamie Burns isn't going to win that. It does fall to Lewis, though. And Kai Fry in space. Parried away by the Gillingham keeper. Chance to win it at the end for Kai Fry. Can't quite take advantage. But we will get another corner. And we will look again for Kabore, who grabs the winner. 2 minutes from time. Surely he's got to be man of the match now. Fry hasn't been too bad for sure. But I think Kabore already had 60% of the vote. And surely he's got to win man of the match now. He's been influential, and now he's grabbed what looks to be the winner. 2 minutes from time. 2.92 vertical. It looks like he didn't jump as high as Williamson did earlier. And his was only a 1.51 vertical. So I'm not sure how Kabore got, well, I guess twice as high as Williamson did there. But I think this is a deserved victory. Gillingham took the lead, and I mean, it wasn't exactly against the run of play. And Gillingham have been decent enough. I think we've been better, though. And I think we are good value for a 2-1 victory. I wouldn't have complained too much about a 1-1 draw. But certainly good to grab the winner at the end. And like we said, we are looking to establish ourselves in the automatic promotion places. And this is a good first step towards doing that in today's episode. Let me show you the shortlist that we've currently got. So Jonathan Tompkinson is a player that I've added. He is somebody I could potentially look to loan from Norwich. We've got Rob Nizzet. We've got Will Ferry. We've got Dylan Williams. We've got Harrison Burrows and Ben. I still don't even know how to say his name. But Ben Krezene, I guess, at left back. We got Tony Springer. I basically just raided Norwich City in terms of players that I might like to loan. We've done the same with Forsyth and with Schwartau, who I think would be a really interesting one, actually. We've got Matty Virtue, we've got Tom Lowry, we've got Ronan Darcy, who was a suggestion in the last stream. We've got Jay Stansfield up front, we've got Mason Burstow, and we've got Jonah Ayunga as well. So that's our shortlist currently. I'm interested in Schwartau, and we can loan him. He has just joined the club. And we'll just do a basic terms loan for the second half of the season. No reason to do a loan to buy just yet, I don't think. I don't even know he's making... So I say he's making quite a lot of money, and that would be a fairly substantial investment usually for a League 2 club. But in-game, the wages are so inflated. They want us to pay 80% of his wages. That's simply not going to happen. We'll go to 50. No, it's not going to happen. We're not paying anywhere close to 70% of his wages. Not going to happen. So these are our objectives for this season. We have... Well, let me just go through them individually. So we need to promote 3 youth prospects to the first team. So yeah, we can sign a 3-star youth scout. If we fail to do that, we have to release the 2 highest rated players in the academy. We need to score 20 goals in all competitions with Dave Williamson. We're off to a good start in that regard. League 2, we need to make the playoffs at the very least. We can sign a big name player age 30 plus if we do that. So we'll be looking to add a few of those over the course of the second half of the season as well. EFL Trophy, we need to not lose at home, which again, we've managed to do so far. And that will allow us to double the merchandising revenue in the end of season report. So this is on Core DNA, which again, we'll get to in just a second. And then finally, a financial target, turn a profit in the transfer market. So that will allow us to sign 2 free agents ahead of season 2, something we can't currently do. Core DNA itself. This is how we are currently set up in, well, let me show you the club tab first of all, just in case people want to use it themselves. So if you want to do a creator club on Core DNA, you have to select that in here. So classic career would just be with an actual team. Creator club is what you need to select if you are using that particular feature. You select the team that you've replaced in the game. So I just replaced Accrington Stanley because who are they? You do need to input these things manually as well, or it won't cook properly. So we've got 1 star or 1 domestic prestige, 1 international prestige. We've got 1 league reputation. I did manually reduce this to 20 DNA points as well, just to make it even harder. Our rival club is Middlesbrough. So we're based in the Northeast. So Middlesbrough is our main rival. Hans Newman is German and he's got links with Hanover United. Oh, Hanover United. What is that? Hanover 96. So the main club is our affiliate club, and then Hanover 96-2 is our feeder club. So we might be looking to take advantage of that by bringing in a couple of Hanover players in the future. So that's that for there. Core DNA, we have currently 5 points invested in culture. This was just to get some additional traits. So in the culture strand, every DNA point you allocate there gives you an extra trait point to spend. So we actually haven't spent any trait points in culture. We just wanted the 5 extra, basically. We've invested nothing in operations, recruitment, employment, but we have invested 3 in development so that we can unlock practice makes perfect. We get an extra coach and we get an extra coaching knowledge tier. We've invested 4 in networking so that we can unlock the global talent pool. So we get an extra youth scout and an extra global transfer network scout. And then we've unlocked 5 in academy. We can promote 2 additional players to the first team from the youth academy this season. We have a plus 10% chance of signing all prospects from youth scouting trips. We can sign 2 additional prospects from scouting trips. And then we can automatically sign all prospects up to 80 potential. All other prospects, so anyone 80 plus, we will have to input through the signing calculator and it will determine whether or not we get to sign them, basically. As I said, I haven't input anything in the squad screen yet. You can see that I tried to do it before and it wasn't really taking. The age in particular is the problem. So I'll continue trying to fix that and I'll sort that out at a later date. It's a nice away kit from Chesterfield. We do beat Chesterfield. So Sean Rose scores. Dave Williamson scores again. So he's grabbed a couple in today's episode already. So back-to-back wins in League 2. And Ethan Saint could be returning for the Burnley game. He's feeling pretty fit. I'm not sure that means he's going to be ready to play, though. Dominic Norman's been approached. There's only 5 months left on his deal. And he is making nearly £9,000 at 56 overall and 24 years of age. I think we just let him walk. This might be something we need to address today as well, though. Seymour is expiring. He's only 27. In fact, let's delegate renewal for him now. Look at these wages. What is he making? He's making 10.5. These wages are outrageous. I mean, I guess we match that. I really don't want to go any more than 12. And he does take 12 for a 2-year extension. Blake Berder wouldn't mind for an additional year as well. He's currently on 11.5. So, I mean, maybe we could even get him to take a pay cut. He takes a... He matches. He matches for a 1-year extension. Everybody else, I think we can probably let go and get some of this money off the books. Norman is going to be joining Newport County. So joining a league rival come the end of the season. But we have arrived at the day of the Burnley game. So Broad, Hobbs, Hutchinson, Stokes. Yeah, just our fittest, strongest 11. Hardy, Hurst. I think we'll go with Seymour. And the benches are huge. The benches are huge. We've got plenty of choices on the bench. Let's put Mann on the bench as well. Lewis and Sadler. Let's actually... There's no point playing Norman if we're going to be losing him at the end of the year. We're going to be better off having Davison on the bench. Or in fact, we'll be even better off having Hooper on the bench. All right, that's the squad. Burnley, the opponents. Trip to Turf Moor. As Tottenham sign Antoine Griezmann. That's interesting. Trip to Turf Moor in round 3 of the FA Cup. So Burnley have Ramsey. They have an interesting centre-back. He's the guy I've taken a look at in the Crystal Palace save. Esteve, I want to say his name is. Looks very, very decent, and it looks like he's starting today. Yeah, Maxime Esteve. Jordan Bayer is a good centre-back as well. James Trafford, a goalkeeper that I really like. Josh Brownhill, of course, in the side. Josh Cullen as well. Luca Koleosho on the bench. Lyle Foster on the bench. Jay Rodriguez on the bench as well. But this is going to be an interesting test. Predictions in the chat. How do we think this game is going to finish? Give me a scoreline. What are you thinking? I'm going to predict... I'm going to predict a narrow 2-1 victory for Burnley. I'd like to get the win. I think we have to be realistic, though. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Burnley. What are we thinking? We haven't really managed to do anything. 4-0 Burnley. Come on. You haven't got to do me like that. We haven't managed to do anything with our possession, but we've had a decent amount of possession to start the game, and that's a really good challenge from Kabore, who continues to play excellently. El Fakiri with the run in behind. Sean Rose finds him. It's a pinpoint pass. We've said it numerous times against Shillingham. It's a poor touch from El Fakiri. Really poor touch. Couple of runners ahead. One of whom is Kai Fry, and he does collect. And he just fires across the keeper and hits the post. And El Fakiri takes the lead for Redmont Rangers 12 minutes into the game. Get your 2-0s. Get your 4-0s out of here. Get your 7-0s out of here. This isn't the Palace save. This is Redmont Rangers. This is a whole different... I want to say kettle of fish, but that doesn't seem right. I swear that's the phrase, but what can that possibly mean? I mean, my prediction is still on. I said 2-1. We fulfilled our side of the bargain. Come on, Burnley, fulfill yours. games like this, especially if we win them, are actually going to be more important than they usually would because we are using core DNA. You know, just winning this game, just in a regular career mode save, wouldn't be that impactful. But yeah, it's great to get to the 4th round of the FA Cup, but with Core DNA's budget calculator, you know, Core DNA sets your budget each season and it takes into account things like prize money. For such a small club, you know, it's like real life. For a League 2 club, making the 4th round of the FA Cup is going to be Williamson doubles the lead. Huge fortune. No idea how that fell to Williamson, but it did. And he absolutely buried it. I think it's Jordan Beyer. Is it? I think it's Jordan Beyer. He's tried to clear the ball and he's just got his feet tangled underneath him. Makes a complete hash of it. Kicks his own foot rather than the ball, it looked like. Tumbles to the ground. And Dave Williamson is there to snap up the loose ball. And absolutely fire it past James Trafford in off the post. So we are 2-0 up at Turf Moor in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Goliosho finds Hobbs. Not the player he was looking for. Sean Rose. There goes Charles Mann. That's a perfect pass from Sean Rose. Or not quite perfect. Close to perfect. That's why we have him in that deep line playmaker role, though. To spread those passes around, and he does collect here. Drives at the Burnley back line. Goes down on the edge of the box. Referee's whistle remains silent. I thought we could have had something there. Did try and do a little skill move. Has been pointed out in the comments, I don't use skill moves almost at all. I've been trying to add them to my arsenal recently. Just some simple feints and step overs. That's all we need for now. Maybe branch out from there a little later down the line. And I think Burnley are going to be back in the game here. I was just trying to get back on the line with Jordan Hobbs to potentially block that shot. I was never going to make it across to him to dispossess him, so I was just trying to get behind Callum Broad. But neither of us are ever getting to that. Burnley back in it. An emphatic finish. But Hutchinson and Stokes. Oh, and Broad actually, by the looks of the replay, did get something on it. It didn't look that way initially. But Burnley back in the game. Charles Mann onside, in behind. Linesman's flag stays down. Charles Mann has the strength to hold off the Burnley defender and puts it wide. That would have made it comfortable. Re-establish our 2-goal lead heading into the final 20 minutes of the game. Charles Mann couldn't bury it though. We've seen him bury multiple chances like that in recent games. Not on this occasion. A, you can't possibly give a free kick for that, Lino. And B, Jamie Burns does so well to get back and steal that ball away because he was out of position. Having gone up to challenge for the ball initially. Hobbs sells Rose short and Fleming is in behind and puts it wide. I was all ready to say and equalises, and he doesn't. He puts it wide. We cannot afford to give the ball to Burnley like that in those situations, though. We are asking to lose this game. Just 2 minutes to go. And he puts it straight out of play. Seymour, back to Mann. And we just want to keep possession. Burnley need to come and get it. Hutchinson. Hobbs, back to Hutchinson and all the way back to Broad. 3 minutes of added time. And we are into those minutes already. Webb finds Stokes. Hutchinson once more. Burnley sending men forward to apply the pressure. Luca Kolyosho chasing Jordan Hobbs down. And Webb has just completely let it run. No clue why, but Webb lets it run. Gifts Burnley possession. When we had an opportunity just to keep hold of it and see the game out. It's an embarrassing shot. That is absolutely embarrassing. As if that was the last kick of the game. What an anticlimax. Just the tamest effort you'll ever see. In the most high leverage spot. Burnley's final possession. The final opportunity to get themselves level. And that was what they do with it. We are still looking to bring in a couple of players here in January. And it's awkward because we don't really know anything about any of these players. Bogard we can bring in on loan. He was a suggestion in the chat. We do have a massive budget as well. This is something I have pointed out before, but we have a 45 million budget. When I set up the save, I did a 50 million financial takeover just to make sure we had ample money to do whatever we want with. But we are going with the budget set in core DNA. So we only have 3.5 million in the bank. 45 million, it's just cosmetic, essentially. But I wanted to make sure I had more than enough money to hire the coaches, hire the scouts. Just to plan for any eventuality, essentially. Let's see if we can get him in. Oh my god, it's so much money. They will take a deal of a 40-60 split, though. So we could bring in Lamar Bogard. I really would like a wide midfielder. Forsyth. I really would like Schwartau. Maybe let's go back and see if Norwich have changed their mind. So let's try again a short-term loan. They wanted... Yeah, see, again, they want us to pay 80%. It's just not going to happen. Maybe we'd go to... Yeah, no, it's just not going to happen. And this is going to be Bogard. So Bogard does arrive. Young CDM from Aston Villa. Not sure CDM was our biggest need heading into January. But was a suggestion in the chat. Could provide some much needed depth for us. And most of our depth, to be fair, at centre midfield is more... They're more attacking options that we have currently. So he does get the number 18. So players like Blake Bird, Teddy Hooper, Charles Mann, they're attacking options. We don't have a huge amount of depth in terms of defensive options at centre midfield. We do have Richard Seymour. He's primarily a centre-back, though. And what are we looking at in terms of overall? 67. He will fit right in. 64 pace, 61 passing, 65 dribbling, 65 defending, 72 physical. He looks more than decent at 21 years of age. He's on 32k. He is a Premier League player, I guess. But imagine being a 21-year-old at a Premier League club making 30 grand a week but not even playing for the first team. That is wild. I think we need a loanee striker to provide a little bit more depth and to prevent us from having to play Ellis Lewis, who I think is just awful. Yusuf Chamiti of Everton. I like the idea, and he is loan listed. I think this could be our guy. He is very much in the Dave Williamson mold. So maybe wouldn't be Cucho Hernandez for Fulham. Maybe wouldn't be the best option to pair a Jonathan David to Arsenal. Maybe wouldn't be the best option to pair with Dave Williamson because that striker on the left does tend to be more of a centre forward than a true striker. Is set to false nine, is set to build up. So kind of drops into midfield to collect. And to kind of dictate the play a little bit more. But would certainly be an additional option in that right-sided striker position. Orban to Everton. Parkinson, Patrick Schick to Chelsea. Schick is always a player that I want to buy in career modes and never do, but I really should because he's such a fun player. I don't really see any other realistic options in the Premier League, but let's check out the Championship as well. Yusuf Chamiti currently the front runner, though. Let's see if we can bring in Chamiti, though. He's not willing to move to a league that isn't competitive enough for his skills, but he might be forced to do so on loan. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. Understandable that he wouldn't want to sign for us permanently, but come and play some football, Yusuf. Let's try and get 40% of his wages. Let's go. 60-40 again. We're not desperate to sell anybody by any means, and Yusuf Chamiti does arrive. So another big man up top. And I mean, we don't have to play with a false 9 on the left-hand side. We could certainly play with Chamiti and Williamson up front, and we could always adjust that particular player role and play with the two big men. But he gets the number 21 shirt. And hopefully he's going to bang in a few goals for us. So this would be a player that I think if we make it up to League One next season, could potentially be open to playing for us. And could be reasonably priced at the very least. New star player. What is his overall? 73. Oh my God, what have we done? We signed a 73 overall. This is the problem with having the scouting on slow. We're just kind of rolling the dice. So Chamiti immediately becomes the best player in League 2. And I mean, we can't not start him, can we? He's a 73 overall. He immediately becomes our best player, obviously. 6 better than our best overall, Sean Rose. Chamiti is going to absolutely destroy League 2, I think. Oh, he's actually a poacher. He's actually a poacher. Interesting. So Dave Williamson, advanced forward. Yusuf Chamiti, poacher. I actually love it. I actually love it. And let's quick sim this game. And it's a 0-0 draw. I don't hate it, to be fair. Unbeaten in League 2 so far in the episode. Let's make those changes at the very least. And quick sim this game against Crew. And it's another draw. Ethan Saint gets a goal on his return to action for Redmont Rangers. We do just manage a point against Crew, but we are still unbeaten in League 2 in the episode. So, decent month so far. Beat Burnley in the FA Cup. Who do we have in the FA Cup? Oh my God, it's Arsenal. Oh my God. Could we have got a tougher draw? I think almost certainly not. Round 4 of the FA Cup. We could have had Salford. We could have had Crew. We could have had Stevenage. We could have even had Bolton, Crawley, Millwall, Hull. We get Arsenal. A trip to the Emirates, then, is on the cards for today's episode. First, though, is Crew Alexandra. And the debut of both Yusuf Chamiti and Lamar Bogard, possibly. That a Bogard tifo already. The Redmont fans already taking a shine to the Aston Villa loanee. They put that together quick. Chamiti with the running behind. Decently pacey for such a big man. I think he's got 70 pace. Not sure how that breaks down in terms of sprint speed and acceleration, but pretty sure he's got 70 pace overall. And technically good for the level at which we're playing at the very least. How well his technical ability stands up in the Premier League is tough to say. But in League 2, I think he'll be more than sufficient in terms of the technical side of his game as well. Kai Fry is going to look for him in the air. Fails to find him. We can't just be putting crosses in, though. The temptation with Williamson and Chamiti up front is just going to be to lob crosses into the box every time we get the opportunity. We need to continue to play football. Kabore dropping in. Port Vale already looking a little more dangerous going forward than previous teams that we faced in the episode. And Callum Broad has to come out and sprawl in front of the Port Vale striker to prevent him from taking the lead already in the game. Couple of good runs from Bogard and from Chamiti. Opens up the space in behind for El Fakiri to run into. And it's lobbed up towards the back post by Kai Fry. And Williamson doesn't even get it on target. Oh, the goal was at his mercy. Hutchinson. Hobbs. Oh, my days. If Port Vale score here, thankfully they put it over again. I would have been so mad. It was another one of those manual passing nightmares where you power it up just before the ball gets there, but the ball arrives just before you're done powering up. So it just ends up tapping the ball forwards. And Brandon Stokes beaten. Corey Hutchinson comes across, but it's played in behind. And Jordan Hobbs can't get a foot in either. Eventually he can. Kai Fry finds Kabore, and we've got El Fakiri up in support. Kai Fry is free on the right-hand side. Kabore once more. It's a good run through the middle from Chamiti. And it's a poor challenge from the Port Vale man, but Kabore gets straight back up. Burst through on goal. Squares it for Chamiti, who scores. Not in his debut. But in the first game in which we have played with the use of Chamiti at the very least. So already making an impact. That was all Ademola Kabore though. He was fouled. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a booking for the Port Vale man who fouled Kabore. But regardless, he got straight back up on his feet. Continued to drive into the Port Vale box. Squares it for Chamiti, who taps home. Port Vale pretty much just leaving their entire back four in to defend. It does mean they're struggling to create opportunities, but it does mean we're struggling to create opportunities on the counter-attack. Dave Williamson, back post, can't win it. Kai Fry volley, wide. Good effort. Good effort on the volley. Good ball across by Blake Bird. Williamson brings it down. And the Port Vale keeper is Johnny on the spot. Comes out to smother it at the feet of Dave Williamson. And this is the danger of playing with that false back of Jamie Burns. When we lose possession, he's completely out of position. And there is that goal that we talked about. We said we need a second one, because Port Vale could just nick a goal from a set piece or a quick counter-attack and get something out of this game. That looks like that's the case. I thought the chance had gone when the Port Vale attacker nodded it down for his teammate. I thought he has to bring that down and shoot, and he didn't. He nodded it across the penalty area, but in the end it was exactly the right decision, because it was an easy finish for his teammate. And Ronan Curtis levels things up here at Redmont Arena. Does look like, rather, the game is going to ebb away into a disappointing draw. It's a game that we've controlled, but we said if we don't grab a second, there's every chance that Port Vale could nick one. Oh, come on, he's completely blocked him off, ref. We had Chamiti running in behind there. Blake Bird trying to find him. The Port Vale defender just completely blocks him off the ball. Blake Bird. Can we find Chamiti at the back post? Potentially. Parried away by the keeper. Won by Pearce. Hit on the turn by Chamiti and blocked. Potentially one final opportunity still. 2.5 minutes deep into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Frankie Webb just gets it wide. Pulls it back to Chamiti. It does fall to him. Back to Kai Fry, who snatches at the shot, and it's wide. And it is a draw. A disappointing draw. We had the better Port Vale in that one. We really should have won the game. Really should have won the game. We failed to put 3 points on the board as often as we would have liked in this episode so far. And we have Bradford in 3 days' time. closure of the January transfer window will occur ahead of Stokes has approached. He's a player that we're looking to sell here in January. But it does look like he's going to be leaving on a free, as does Davison. So no interest at all in our players. I think our players being very much undervalued by other clubs. We're having a decent season, but it does look like deadline day is going to tick away with no additional business. Let's, before it ticks away, just have a quick look at other transfers around the league. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be several seasons before we play any of these teams. But Tchouaméni joins Liverpool, Militao to Paris Saint-Germain, who send Marquinhos back the other way, Balde to Manchester United, Nunez to Atletico Madrid, Antoine Griezmann to Tottenham we saw earlier, Jack Grealish to PSG, Destiny Udogie to Barcelona, Nathan Ake to Aston Villa is actually a very realistic one. I like that a lot. That's a really interesting transfer. Brian Brobby goes to Lille. Angie to Dortmund. So City kind of shipping their centre-backs out. Daniel Marlon to Brighton is an interesting one. Ademola Lookman always seems to move as well. Cucurella joins Madrid. Jesus on his way out. Patrick Schick we saw join Chelsea. Richarlison to Wolves is an interesting one as well. That would be a cool transfer to see in real life. Jonathan David to Arsenal. And that's about it, really, of the really interesting ones. Brian Mbeumo to Real Madrid. Mark Gay to Villarreal. David Schlag is a player that I like as well. Knight Nori to Wolfsburg for just 26 million. That's cheaper than I would expect to see him go. He tends to have a very high overall and a very high transfer value. I think he has a massive potential in the game. So I think that not inflates his transfer value exactly, but leads to him having a very high transfer value in game. We do get a win in League 2. Still unbeaten. Williamson on the score sheet. And that makes me feel a little bit better about the draws in our previous games, because we've now got 3 victories and 3 draws in League 2. And we've beaten Burnley in the Cup. So that's made me feel a lot better. So, final game of the stream to be played against Arsenal, who look like they're going to be lining up with David Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel Timber, Saka, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Martinelli, Kai Havertz and Leandro Trossard. 2 4-4-2s. Dueling 4-4-2s in this one. Very much a throwback to the 90s and early 2000s. But let's go with the lucky purple third kit. Purple on purple for this one. It's served us well in the series so far. Hopefully it serves us well again here for a trip to the Emirates. Round 4 of the FA Cup against Arsenal. So, predictions in the chat. Now I do think it might be a little bit more warranted to predict a 4-0 defeat. Maybe even a 7-0 like we saw in the Crystal Palace career mode against Manchester United. So I won't be too offended if your predictions are along those lines, especially since it looks as though Arsenal are going to open the scoring already. So predictions in the chat. What are we thinking? What's the score going to be in this one? Dave Williamson in behind. He's got Gabriel for company. Shrugs him off, puts it wide. I saw David Raya refusing to dive away to the right. It's not David Raya, is it? It's Neto. Kai Fry. I think we do just go all out to try and win. I think we just try and play our regular game. I think changing our approach now is just asking for trouble. And we're playing with house money, really, against Arsenal. So I think we might as well just go out, just play our regular game. It's the football that we know. And it's seen some success for us. However, 8 minutes into the game, it is 1-0. Kai Havertz opens the scoring for Arsenal. Not the ideal start, you would have to say. Odegaard finds Saka. And Soyazabal combining with Havertz to unlock the defence. And it's a good finish that Callum Broad can do nothing about, really. However, 8 minutes into the game, we are already on the back foot. So I said we might as well just play our football. We will continue to do so. Everybody, of course, expects us to lose this game, so why not just play your football and see what happens? Erdegaard. El Fakiri pressing. Kabore the same. Saka. Cut out well by Hutchinson. And Callum Broad just looks clear. He finds Williamson. And Chamiti is in behind. Saliba, unfortunately, is alongside him. And Chamiti levels it. 13 minutes into the game, we have a goal at the Emirates. And I thought we were playing as Crystal Palace then for a moment. A quick counter-attack undoes Arsenal. A fantastic finish from Chamiti. Levels the scoring. Did anybody have us 2-2 lose on pens? We've got 3-2 Arsenal in the chat. So, predictions of a Redmont Rangers goal have come to fruition. I didn't even predict that much for us. I've underestimated us a little bit heading into this one. But again, let's just play our football. We've grabbed a goal at the Emirates. Oh, and Kai Havertz has almost grabbed the second. This is going to be a back and forth one. 16 minutes into the game, that much is already clear. Straight into the box from Arsenal. Gabriel turns it towards goal. We can't clear our lines. And Hobbs eventually gets the block in, and we can hook clear through Corey Hutchinson. And Neto is way out of his goal. Almost passes it straight to Nnamdi El Fakiri. I wouldn't have trusted him to put the ball in the back of the net from there, but oh, what a save, Callum Broad. Kai Havertz all on his own. Could have re-established the lead for Arsenal, but it's a fantastic save from Callum Broad, who continues to impress here in Season 1. Jordan Hobbs finds Stokes. I mean, we had a prediction in the chat, actually. It's just occurred to me, there's no possible way that that prediction can come true. What was it? 2-2 and lose on pens. If it was 2-2, it would be a replay, right? We're in the FA Cup. So, a 2-2 draw would see us host Arsenal in a replay at Redmont Arena. At this stage of the competition, at the very least. Kabore. How has he won the ball? How has he won the ball there? Absolutely outrageous decision from the ref. There's absolutely no way he won the ball. And Corey Hutchinson has caught out. And I've lunged with Brandon Stokes. Kai Havertz is in behind. And he hits the bar. We get away with it. Well, we got away with it initially. And thankfully Havertz puts it wide. But we are riding our luck here. Kai Havertz cracks the post. Awful defending. Erdegaard finds Saka. And Tomiyasu finds Havertz. Make the save, Callum Broad, and he does. And he makes the save again. Don't give a penalty. You cannot give a penalty for that. You cannot give a penalty for that. Callum Broad has made the save. He's got up and made the save again. You can't penalise the goalkeeper for making a save at the feet of a striker. He's clearly got the ball. Saka takes it, sends Broad the wrong way. Arsenal have the lead. That's outrageous. Never a penalty. Never a penalty. I'm outraged. I'm absolutely outraged. Absolutely robbed. 5 minutes before half-time. Referee finds any excuse to give Arsenal to give Arsenal the penalty. And we're going to fall apart from here. And we're going to fall apart from here. Saka makes it 3. It's a great ball. It's a great ball. And it's a good finish. It's a good run from Saka. It's a great ball to find him. It's a good finish. But we're going to fall apart from here. I think this is going to be... It's going to be 5 or 6. You can tell already. And it could be 5 or 6 by half-time. Good save, Callum Broad. Sterling to take the corner. Penalties just completely changed the game. I might take another look at it at half-time. Because perhaps I'm wrong, but I think Callum Broad sprawling out at the feet of Kai Havertz, I'm pretty sure got something on it. Williamson cuts inside. Buries it. We're back in it. We're back in it. Absolutely frantic. 5 minutes to end the half. But we're back in it. Within touching distance of Arsenal once more. Williamson just taking his time. Incredible composure. Completely sends Saliba. And fantastic composure to just allow the goalkeeper to come off his line. And then to slot it into that near post. Really good finish. And we are back in it. 45 minutes to grab a goal. And to avoid conceding, of course, which we have proven so far that we are unable to do. Jamie Burns. El Fakiri. No. I was too eager to get the ball forward to create one final opportunity of the half. And now Arsenal are going to have the opportunity to do just that instead. And they are. Oyarzabal finds Havertz again. Oh, too eager to get the ball forward. We've gifted Arsenal a final opportunity in the half, and they take full advantage. An absolutely crazy final 5 or 6 minutes in the first half. It was 1-1 for how long? And we're going to go into the half-time break with the scoreline 4-2. And we're just struggling to get anything going now. Arsenal in complete control of the game. Far better in possession than us. 2-goal advantage. Sean Rose finds Blake Bird, who is nursing a knock here. Chimiti cuts inside. Can't beat Saliba. Excellent defending. Kai Havertz finds Saka, who again beats Jamie Burns for pace. When is he going to learn his lesson? And Kai Havertz puts the exclamation mark on the game for Arsenal. Arguably the best goal of the game. We've seen a couple of good ones from Arsenal. But that's a pretty tidy goal. Saka. Havertz on the volley. Is that his hat-trick or is it 2? I think it's 2 for Havertz. Yeah, we've got Saka, we've got Oyarzabal. I don't remember who scored the other. Kai Havertz certainly opened the scoring for Arsenal, but I think that's his second rather than his third. Could be wrong. I guess we'll see at the end of the game. Dave Williamson. Can we grab another one back? Absolutely not. But we do go down 5-2 against Arsenal. We won't be progressing in the FA Cup, but it's a decent run, and we had extremely tough draws, to be fair. We did well just to get to this stage after beating Burnley in the previous round. But we do go down 5-2 to Arsenal. It must have just been the 2 goals for Kai Havertz rather than the 3. We don't see him get the match ball at the end there. We continue the unbeaten run in League 2. Sean Rose gets the only goal of the game against Colchester to give us a 1-0 victory. Can we get the win away from home at Doncaster to make it an unbeaten episode? We can't get the win. but we do remain unbeaten. Kabore grabs an equaliser 62 minutes in after Kelly's opener in the 58th minute. We'll take it. It's maybe not absolutely ideal, but we'll take it, especially since Fleetwood Town also drew. So where does that leave us as we round out the stream? It leaves us in 3rd position, 2 points behind Fleetwood, but we do have 2 games in hand. It leaves us 4 points behind Gillingham, but we do have a game in hand. So we can't take top spot from Gillingham with that game in hand, but we can take 2nd from Fleetwood relatively comfortably. We are level on points with Notts County, but again, games in hand over them. Barrow dropped to 54, Tranmere on 53, MK Dons, the final playoff team, on 50, and then it drops off to 46 points, which is Bradford. So we are 10 points clear of not making the playoffs, basically. We have 10 points to play with to at least be a playoff team this season. We are going to jump straight into a game. Salford is the matchup, and we are travelling, I believe, to Salford City. And we do have a corner here, which Kai Fry will take. Looking for Dave Williamson. It falls for Brandon Stokes. He shoots with the left. Locked in out for another corner. Which again, I believe Kai Fry is going to take. An in-swinger this time. Again, it's a decent one towards Dave Williamson, who finds the corner. Found the gap between the goalkeeper and the defender on that far post. And just squeezed it between the two of them. But we would just play out from the back. We do have an early lead. So we can afford to use possession a little more conservatively. Sean Rose finds Kabore. Kai Fry with the run in behind. And it's a good ball into the path of Kai Fry, who is just going to try and loft it into the box. But it's good defending eventually from Garbett. Bogard. Oops, didn't mean to loft that up to Sean Rose, but it works out just fine. Chimiti. Lovely feet from Chimiti. Lovely pace, lovely strength. Almost a lovely finish. That's the Premier League quality of Yusuf Chimiti right there. Obviously, it's still very much a question as to whether Chimiti truly is Premier League quality in real life. He hasn't played a great deal for Everton at the highest level. Bogard finds Fry. Offs it up towards Chimiti. Decent enough header, but over. But 10 minutes from time, we are still hanging on to that 1-goal lead that we established within 5 minutes in this game. It's been a pretty slow one ever since. We haven't created too many clear-cut opportunities beyond that initial chance that we managed to take. So we've at least been clinical here today. Approaching 90 minutes. No indication of how much stoppage time will be added just yet. And it's going to be 3 minutes. Good challenge from Hobbs. Bogard can't hook clear. And again, we might have been split open at the back. Thankfully, it's a shot from range this time, which Callum Broad is more than capable of dealing with. We'll take the corner, and I was trying to go short there. Charles Mann will come across. Short corner. Kai Fry curls it towards the far corner, blocked by Salford, and the final whistle should go here, and it does. So we do escape with all 3 points. Maybe undeservedly so, to be honest, because Salford were pressing for an equaliser in that second half, and they came very, very close on 2 occasions to grabbing one. So I think we have to count ourselves lucky that we managed to get all 3 points here. And I think they're going to go a long way as we approach the run-in here at the end of Season 1. Could be invaluable in our search for promotion. But let's go over the calendar for this month. We've got Bromley coming up. We've got Harrogate Town coming up as well. They are our local-ish rivals. However, we will be quick sim in that game. So I need to play Tranmere. We need to play Notts County. Because if we take a look at the table, we are currently now second, actually. However, we have played the same number of games as Gillingham. We have 2 games in hand on Fleetwood Town, who are just below us, and on Notts County, who are just below them. Tranmere have moved up to 4th. So Notts County and Tranmere are 4th and 5th. I think if we get wins over both of those teams, I think we put ourselves in a really good position for automatic promotion this season. Clash of kits here, but I'm not playing the game, so I don't really care. And we get a point. Dave Williamson in the second half grabs an equaliser. Not ideal against Bromley, but a point is better than a loss, especially away from home, of course. But Harrogate Town, the local-ish rivals, as we look to continue an unbeaten stream so far, we should probably rotate the side a little. Seymour can come in for Stokes. Saint can come in for Chamiti. And Bogard can come in for Rose because Kabore was out for the previous game. And I think Pierce will stay in the reserves actually for the moment. So let's quick sim the third game of the stream. And we get a 2-0 victory over the rivals Harrogate Town. Namdi El Fakiri getting on the score sheet, as well as the right back Jordan Hobbs. So big game. Big game. Tranmere looking to chase us down for one of these automatic promotion places. And we are taking this game so seriously that we have come out in the all-purple third kits. Jordan Hobbs driving forward early. Finds Sean Rose. Dave Williamson just about finds Elijah Hurst, who can find space to cross, but it's a poor one in the end. Not ideal, but Stokes finds Hobbs once more. Kabore, the first time pass out to Kai Fry, and it's a good run into that channel by Yusuf Chamiti, who can't quite beat his man, but does steal the ball back. Kabore gets the shot away, but it's blocked. Sean Rose first time, and it's dragged wide. Decent start. Sean Rose, Kabore, Chamiti. Enjoying decent spells of possession at the moment, but not really finding that killer instinct. Not really finding that run that splits the defenders. That pass that unlocks the defence. Just struggling to break Tranmere down in the final third at the moment. Great challenge from Kabore, though, and he can keep the pressure up. Rose, Kabore will strike from range, and again it's a poor one. Space really opened up for Kabore there. Didn't take full advantage of it by any means. Let's have a little run with him here. There he goes. Just staring at the ball. We said he's not particularly skillful. He's quick, he's athletic, but he needs to stare at the ball or he's going to lose control of it. Dave Williamson doesn't have that problem, though. Maybe he should have stared at the ball on that occasion. Sean Rose. El Fakiri wants it back, but it just gives space for Sean Rose to turn, get the shot away, and it's a big save from the Tranmere keeper. Opportunities for both sides in the last 10-15 minutes or so, and we could have another one here as Dave Williamson does manage to steal the ball away. And there is Sean Rose. One touch to get the ball out of his feet, and he buries it. And we will celebrate in front of the Redmont fans in the corner as we manage to take the lead just before half-time. And it's all thanks to a terrible mistake from the Tranmere defender. His goalkeeper kind of put him in a tricky situation and then failed to make the save when I think it would have been possible. It's not like the shot from Sean Rowe was tucked right into the corner, but managed to potentially deceive the goalkeeper somewhat and wrong foot him potentially. But a big goal from Sean Rose puts us ahead 5 minutes from half-time. And again, that could be a big goal in this race for automatic promotion here in Season 1. Because Tranmere are hot on our tail. And Hurst eventually hooking clear. Oh, and Dave Williamson could keep this in, and he does. And Yusuf Chamiti's made a great run. Dave Williamson finds him. And Chamiti can't quite find Williamson. Williamson could win that in the air though, and he does. And Kai Fry doubles our lead. Persistent play from Dave Williamson. Nodding the ball down to Kai Fry in the box, who fires past the Tranmere keeper for the second time in about 5 minutes here at the end of the first half. And it's a really good finish. Just one touch to settle himself. And then the second to fire it past the defender. Got a feel for the keeper on that occasion because he must have been unsighted, and it's 4 minutes, the length between the first goal and the second. And this game has been blown wide open here at the end of the first period. Williamson in behind. He is 100% onside this time. Chimiti, first time blocked. Sean Rose knocks it down to Kabore. Blocked. And that's never going to be enough to beat Corey Hutchinson. Not even close. El Fakiri. Look at the skill. I'm trying to use the skill stick a little more. And to be fair, it's working out here. El Fakiri squares it for Chimiti, who does get his goal. Nnamdi El Fakiri. How dare I suggest that you don't have skill? I've been saying all game, all episode really. He's got the athleticism. He doesn't have the technical ability. He's just shut me right up. Kai Fry loses out. But 3 minutes of added time. All that's remaining here against Tranmere. And we could have a fourth goal within those 3 minutes of injury time. But Sean Rose can't quite find Charlie Pearce. Yeah, we've just forced it a little. Since we grabbed that third goal, I think we've got a little complacent, a little ahead of ourselves. Got a little too big for our boots, I think. Just thinking we can break Tranmere down every time we get the ball. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. Norris gets his goal. The one-time Callum Broad is not a wall at the back. Tranmere managed to score. It's not the end of the world. It's going to be a 3-1 rather than a 3-0, but we don't need to see it again. Let's put that behind us. And it is the last kick of the game. So Callum Broad not exactly covering himself in glory, but I think he's allowed one mistake. So Chesterfield, not a great side. Should be a comfortable win at Redmont Arena to continue our unbeaten run in the stream so far, and we do just about come away with all 3 points. Kabore opens the scoring, but 2 goals from Cheltenham Town put them ahead 70 minutes into the game. Charlie Pearce thankfully equalises just a minute later, and then Chimiti grabs the winner. We are 6 points ahead of Notts County, who we have coming up, not in the next game, but in the following game after that, and a game in hand over them as well. Gillingham do have a game in hand over us though, and 2 games in hand over the teams just ahead of them. So really starting to establish ourselves, solidify ourselves in the automatic promotion places. I'll keep Seymour in there for another game, actually, to be fair, as we take on Morecambe once more at Redmont Arena. And again, we win. We cannot lose. Chimiti gets on the score sheet again. Dackers pulls one back for Morecambe this time. Williamson and Kai Fry secure the win for us in the second half. Fleetwood Town only draw. I think that was a draw for Notts County as well, who we do have coming up next. We can maybe all but secure automatic promotion with this next game, I think. We'll have to check on the table and see the exact point totals. But we can't be far off, to be fair. So Notts County currently in 4th. The first of the playoff places on 64 points. And we are 8 points ahead of Notts County with a game in hand. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think if we win this game, I think we've secured automatic promotion. There'd be 8 games left. We would have an 11-point lead over 4th place Notts County and a game in hand. I don't see how we don't make automatic promotion in that situation. El Fakiri going on one of those mazy runs once more. Little step over. And this is why I don't use skill moves. I knew it was a fluke earlier. I knew it was a fluke. Can Stokes get there? Yes, he can. Knocks it down to Kabore. Gets the shot away. And somebody is down. I think it's Chimiti. Chimiti down in the Notts County box. Oh my God. I thought the Notts County player was trying to find Chimiti. It looked like a pinpoint cross for a minute. The goalkeeper takes it down. One touch with his foot on his own line. Absolutely mental couple of moments. Kabore strikes from range again. Oh my God, what a goal that would have been. Bounces back off the bar. Kabore absolutely lets fly. And it thunders against the crossbar, shakes the woodwork. The county keeper would have had no idea what just happened if that ended up in the back of the net. Kai Fry somehow makes it work. Dave Williamson collects and saved the shot, unfortunately straight at the county keeper. But we are looking more like scoring now. County with a decent start to the game, but it's been all Redmont the last couple of minutes, and County somehow have managed to ride the storm so far. Can they continue to do so? As Nnamdi El Fakiri shapes to shoot now, and he puts it wide. The goal is coming though, and we're going to see if Chimiti is able to run this injury off. But we have seen in the last couple of games that hasn't been the case. Players have been forced off the pitch with these sorts of injuries in the last couple of games. So we'll give Chimiti another 10 minutes or so, but he may well need to come off before half-time, and we concede our first goal of the stream. And he greedies on us. Interesting. And that's got me fired up. I'll be honest. I was content enough to allow them the goal, but the fact that he's greedied on us afterwards has just made me angry, and I don't think you're going to like the way that we react. It is Giovanni Brown, the player that was highlighted to us before the game, who opens the scoring for Notts County, but that celebration is just going to light a fire under us. And I'm making my predictions now. We're going to come back and win this game. We need all 3 points. We have enough motivation without the showboating celebration. Because again, 3 points probably means automatic promotion for us. That's motivation in itself. But we cannot allow somebody to disrespect us like that. Great run from Kabore, and we don't quite put enough on the pass. That was close to ideal there. County setting up with a flat back five, not in possession by the looks of things. And it is making them difficult to break down when we get the ball in their final third. Chimiti looking for Williamson, takes it down, equalises. Pick it up, put the ball back on the spot. I do wish I knew how to griddy, to be fair. Because I would like to disrespect them back, but I don't know how to griddy. Not only in the game, but I think I would make just as much a fool of myself in real life if I tried to griddy. Again, we have the impetus, we have the momentum. Although Notts County are the next to put the ball back into the box. And Giovanni Brown is now injured. That will serve him right. Williamson. Chimiti in behind. Perfect pass. Strength from Chimiti. Penalty ref. And we will have the lead before half-time. I predicted an equaliser. I did not predict a goal to put us ahead before half-time. Of course, we do need to score it. But we do have Dave Williamson, a clear penalty. And Yusuf Chimiti is not going to take this. It will be Dave Williamson. And he will put it top right. It's really not the best penalty. I think he's missed it, and he has. Good Lord. Not ideal. Dave Williamson absolutely spoons it. And that power bar filled up far quicker than I was expecting. Let's just leave it at that. But that is a warning shot at the very least. And in fact, you know what? We missed it on purpose. We can miss penalties and still beat the likes of Notts County. Ethan Saint turns. Shot blocked. Kabore can't run onto it. And that's a really bad challenge from El Fakiri. This could be a red. This could be a red. Oh, and it's just a yellow. It's just a yellow. I was lining up my next justification for that if it was red. It was going to be, not only do we not need a penalty, not only do we, you know, not have to take an almost certain goal from 12 yards, but we don't even need the same number of players as you. But thankfully it is just a yellow. It's a nice ball in behind though. Jamie Burns is not going to get there. Oh, and that's a decent cross. And it's a big save from Callum Broad. Thankfully, the ball goes out of play before the county player can fire it back across goal. County look decent, to be fair. I think they probably look like the best side we've played so far today. Great ball into the feet of Ethan Saint. And Sean Rose. Can he find Saint once more? No, he can't. Instead, he'll just find Burns. We've seen Burns shoot from this kind of range before. Can't get the shot away on this occasion, though. Good challenge, El Fakiri. Referee waves play on after, I believe, a handball. Dave Williamson. Finds El Fakiri once more. There's Kabore. Beats his man. And a second. Gets the shot away and absolutely buries it. And we are ahead in the game. Thanks to a fantastic goal from Adamola Kabore. Beat one. Beat a second. Fires with the left foot across the keeper. Clinical finish. 2-1 Redmont. County just have so many players back. They really should be committing more players forward to those kinds of situations, because they are chasing the game. Laid off for Bogard, who strikes from range. Saved by the county keeper. County are really sitting off, though, at this stage. Allowing us shots from range. And it's a big save there to keep County within touching distance heading into the final 10 minutes. Kai Fry. And it's an incredible save from Kabore this time. Managed to win the header against the odds. Turns it towards goal. An incredible reaction save. We really should have this game all wrapped up by now. Kabore turns it towards goal again. This time it just loops onto the top of the net. But County do have possession and will have the opportunity to create a final chance to equalise. But they send it backwards rather than forwards. And the referee blows his final whistle. And it is going to be another victory. We are yet to lose in today's episode. And we have Fleetwood Town next as well. And if that game wasn't enough to secure promotion, I think surely this one will be. And in fact, this one is going to go a long way to securing the League 2 title. So we'll be playing this next game against Fleetwood as well. But County drop all the way down to 6th. We are 9 points clear of the playoffs. And we are, 20 points clear of MK Dons in 8th. So there's absolutely no way we drop out of the playoffs. It's very unlikely that we drop out of the automatic promotion places at this stage as well. 8 games left, 9 points clear. Let's go and secure the League 2 title. But 90 minutes stand between us and almost certainly the League 1 title. Who is this guy? Mipo gets a yellow card early, but he is rapid. Adamipo Udabeko. I'm getting him on the shortlist after this game because Ethan Saint was breaking forward there and he got absolutely run down. Broom drives forward for Fleetwood. El Fakiri beaten. And here is Mipo. Pulls it back across goal and it's a big save from Callum Broad, who continues to be tested early. We continue to get off to slow starts in these games and we continue to rely on our number 1 to keep us in it. Ethan Saint. Dave Williamson gets a shot away of his own, but blocked. This one's going to be a tasty one. You can already tell. This one is going to be a back and forth affair, I think. I think we try and avoid losing. But again, a win obviously is going to be ideal, because a win just makes things far more comfortable. A win is obviously 3 times as good as a draw. But we're going to have to come from behind again to secure that win, because We avoided going behind first really for a long time in today's episode. But we've gone behind first for a second consecutive game. As Harrott opens the scoring for Fleetwood Town. A tidy finish on the volley. Callum Broad beaten at his near post. He's got to do better there. And Kean Harrott does not gritty on this occasion. So we're not even getting the assistance there. Because we have nothing to anger us. We have no additional motivation on this occasion. It's just a regular celebration. Ethan Saint equalises immediately with the goal of the episode. What a finish from Ethan Saint. And it's kind of a half gritty. It's kind of a half gritty there. He had the binoculars. He didn't have the rest of it. What a finish from Ethan Saint, though. He's been threatening to score a goal like that a couple of times in the episode so far. Kind of picking it up on the left-hand side of the box and curling it towards that far corner. And if anybody's going to put the ball in the back of the net from that kind of situation, it is Ethan Saint. Ethan Saint once more. Couple of step-overs. Lays it off for El Fakiri, who pulls it back across goal towards Saint. It's going to fall for Sean Rose, who's going to let fly. And what a save. I thought we had enough power on that shot to beat the keeper. Williamson. Great run from Kai Fry. Great ball from Williamson. Kabore on the edge of the box. Lofts it up towards El Fakiri at the back post. Headed clear. Jamie Burns will drift inside and let fly. And he will see Ethan Saint's goal. And he will raise Ethan Saint's goal. He will say, anything you can do, I can do better. And that's why we have Jamie Burns on false back. So that he can pick up those exact kind of positions. And he can provide some additional attacking support, whether it's by slipping the ball through to the likes of Dave Williamson or Ethan Saint, or whether it's taking advantage of the lack of engagement from the defensive line and letting fly himself. Dave Williamson, couple to his right, one of whom is Kabore, who surely secures the victory. We are just 2 minutes into the second half. But with a 2-goal lead, our fancy is to go on and win this game, of course. Win probability must surely be significantly in our favour now. Good run from Kai Fry, who's in behind. Finds Williamson once more. And it's another incredible save. How many incredible saves are we going to be seeing from these CPU keepers today? Rose. El Fakiri. Immediately up to Saint, who tries to spread the ball wide to Kai Fry, but doesn't get enough on it. Those ones are difficult to judge sometimes with these League 2 players. In the Crystal Palace save, that would have flown into that channel. Let's take a bit of adjustment sometimes between the two series. And here's Harrott once more. And Fleetwood have a goal back. We said this was going to be a back and forth one. And it certainly has been back and forth. Fleetwood Town took the lead. 3 unanswered goals from us saw us go 3-1 up. But Fleetwood back in it now. Helm finds Harrott. Good challenge from Hutchinson yet again. Continues to play incredibly well. And what a challenge that is from Kai Fry. And he keeps the ball in play. There's Ethan Saint. Has a chance to make up for his mistake. And he does. Emphatic finish. What a challenge from Hutchinson. Immediately finds Kai Fry, who plays a perfect pass into the feet of Ethan Saint, who grabs his second goal of the game. Williamson makes it 4-5. Makes it 5, of course. Ethan Saint had already made it 4. Williamson makes it 5. And we are walking to the League One title. I called it. I called it, to be fair. I called it in episode 1. We're going to walk the league, I believe, were my exact words. And we are doing exactly that. But yeah, flicking the right stick to the right and flicking it to the right of the player are two different things. If I flick the stick to the right, then it's going to be backwards for the player. We are currently kicking from right to left. So if I flick the stick to the right, then it's backwards according to the orientation of Kai Fry. So if I'm supposed to flick it to Kai Fry's right, then I need to flick the right stick up. Williamson, can he grab another? Is it going to be 7? Parried away at the near post. How is that a goal? How is that possibly a goal? I mean, I'm not complaining. It's 6-2. Dave Williamson with another. Is that his hat-trick or is that 2 for him as well? I think it's just 2 for him as well. But how on earth has that gone in? Kai Fry nods it down to Sean Rose, who just lobs it into the box. The keeper and the defender just do nothing. And how is that not offside as well? I mean, the defender is clearly keeping him on there. But Dave Williamson is 2 yards from goal. And he's not offside somehow. Ethan Say gets the shot away, blocked. El Fakiri. Is that going to go in? That's gone in! We've scored with a cross, and it is 7. How is that a goal? The Dave Williamson one was confusing. That one even more so. I've scored with the X button. Absolutely unreal scenes at Redmont Arena. Ethan Saint's shot blocked. Just a chipped cross from El Fakiri. It hits the post. I thought it was going to come back off the post. But it does trundle, wriggle into the net. Absolute scenes at Redmont Arena. Broom. Almost dispossessed by Jamie Burns. And it does look like Harat is going to get his hat-trick, and he's not. Oh, it was offside anyway. Oh, what a ball. And for the 3rd time, Harat is going to get his hat-trick. No, he's not. Callum Broad intent on not being the keeper to allow a hat-trick. Harat really could have had 5 in this one. 4 minutes of 5 added have elapsed. Oh, that's less than ideal for Fleetwood. Williamson, will he square it? Yes, he will, but it's kicked away by the Fleetwood keeper. Maybe Williamson should have taken a shot at himself. Did Williamson get a hat-trick? He didn't. I don't see him going to grab the match ball, so he can't have grabbed a hat-trick. Must have been 2 for Williamson, 2 for Saint. Oh, no, of course. It was 2 for Williamson, 2 for Saint. We had Kabore, we had Burns, we had El Fakiri. That was the 7. Incredible performance. So we are, of course, top of the league. We have a game in hand over Fleetwood, who are in 2nd, and we have a 9-point advantage, and we have 7 games left to play. So we certainly haven't mathematically secured the the League 2 title just yet. However, we have put ourselves in a very, very commanding position. So Walsall also succumb. 4-1 this time. Williamson grabs a couple. Chamiti grabs another. Rose grabs another. So Newport County still undefeated on the episode. Still undefeated. It continues. 2-1 over Newport County. Sean Rose does get a goal, as does Dave Williamson. So Sean Rose pays us back for trusting in him rather than Kabore, despite Kabore's flamboyant, fantastic finish in the previous game. So we've already beaten Fleetwood in 2nd, taken on Barrow in 3rd, and this, I think, will mathematically secure the League 1 title for us. If it's not secure already after those quick sim games, we have 4 games left to play, and we have a 12-point lead over Fleetwood Town, who only have 2 games left to play, so we are certainly guaranteed an automatic promotion place. And now we have a game in hand over Gillingham. They actually had a game in hand over us for a little while. And we have a 9-point lead over Gillingham as well, with 3 games left to play. And we have a much, much better goal difference than them. So I think already we have secured automatic promotion. If Barrow beat us, they would go to 79. But we have a much better goal difference than them as well. They would go to 79 with 3 games left to play. If we beat Barrow, we win the league. It's as simple as that. So let's go do that. So back out of Redmont Arena, but for the final time here in Season 1. As Chimiti steals the ball away immediately. This is a promising start. Dave Williamson is not onside. That would have been the ideal start to the game. Kai Fry with the perfect ball in behind. And Dave Williamson again, I mean, I guess he's offside by his head this time, rather than just his hands. If that was just his hands, I would have been incredibly frustrated. Looks clear by the Barrow keeper. And Stokes finds Rose. And El Fakiri beats his man, beats the second man, pulls it across for Chimiti, and we have the lead already. And you can't say it hasn't been coming. Chimiti being an absolute sensation on loan from Everton. Daps up the Redmont Rangers fans, as it's going to be the last time they're going to see him in a Redmont Rangers shirt. Would love to bring him back. I just don't think it's going to happen. Unless we can really get him for cheap. Unless Everton are willing to take, you know, a couple of million max. I think he's going to be out of our price range. Which is a shame. Because he's had an excellent spell on loan. He's the ideal partner to Dave Williamson. Just doubles the danger up front. It's exactly the same style of player, really. And in some cases, hello. Barrow equalised immediately. It's the exact reverse of what happened in the previous game. In that game, Fleetwood Town took the lead. And we equalised immediately. This time it's Barrow who grab an equalising goal just 2 minutes after we score the opener. A couple of minutes to go until half-time then. Like we said, a draw not the worst result. But we would be relying on the quick sim. That's a great ball. And Barrow have the lead. A draw wouldn't be the worst result, but a loss obviously would. I mean, it goes without saying. A loss is literally... And he griddies. He's griddied. Let's go. I think we have to be happy with the griddy because it spurred us on to a win on the last occasion when the Notts County player griddied against us. Barrow have done it again here through Telford. And again, all you've done is make me angry. That has to be punished. El Fakiri. Sean Rose. El Fakiri once more. Jamie Burns. Kabore. And there's Williamson. Hobbs. Nicely worked. Some good possession here from Redmont. You have to make the pressure tell, though. You have to make it productive. Guy Fry. Chimiti at the back post. There's the equaliser. We knew it was coming. As soon as we saw the greedy, we knew it was coming. And we've got, what, the best part of 35, 40 minutes to find a winner. Guy Fry with the assist. You shift Chimiti with the strength. Doesn't even have to jump. Doesn't even have to jump and he wins the header. 2 more goals for Chimiti in this one. Searching for a hat-trick. Ethan Saint, Dave Williamson, both searching for a hat-trick against Fleetwood. Neither of them managed it. We'll see if Yusuf Chimiti can go one better here and grab a 3rd goal. And El Fakiri steals the ball away again. Takes a tumble. But it does leave Williamson one-on-one. And he beats 2 Barrow defenders and sets Kai Fry away. And a big save from the Barrow keeper keeps things level. And it's Lockberg for Barrow. Good challenge from Sean Rose. Saint finds Williamson. Kai Fry. Lots of space. Ethan Saint to pull it across too. Instead he shoots. Goalkeeper makes a hash of it. Kai Fry does have his goal. And 15 minutes from time, we have a 3-2 lead against Barrow. And we may well have just secured the League 2 title here in Season 1. Williamson does manage to poke it to Ethan Saint. And Kai Fry finds space on the far side. Into the box. Can we secure things here? Unbelievable save on his line. Frankie Webb stole in. And from a yard out, got a header on target. Somehow it doesn't go in though. And a huge cheer from the Redmont fans as we win the ball back in defensive midfield. With now 30 seconds left on the clock. 30 seconds, all that stand between us and the League 2 title. And I think that means that we're going to be winning the League 2 title. And it does. I think we're going to see the cutscene here. It does very much look like we are. So celebrating at home in front of the Redmont fans at Redmont Arena. And we are going to see the team lift the League 2 trophy. I assume we're going to lift the League 2 trophy anyway. I assume we're not just celebrating because of automatic promotion. I think we'd secured that a couple of games ago. Or will we see the League 2 trophy? It looks like we will. I was anticipating the Premier League trophy. That seems to be the one that's lifted on every other occasion. And I can only assume that's the League 2 trophy. I mean, it looks like it should be. It's got the League 2 ribbons on it. And Corey Hutchinson, the captain, with the trophy in his hands. Sean Rose and Callum Broad, fellow heroes of Redmont alongside them. He's got Dave Williamson behind him. And in Season 1, we are League 2 champions. We can quick sim these remaining games in full knowledge that we would definitely be going up, and we would definitely be going up as winners of League 2 here in Season 1. Almost didn't happen. We needed that final goal to secure the victory and to secure the trophy. But it was a spirited performance, resilient performance. Not quite as emphatic as some of our other performances in today's episode. But it was enough. It was enough to get the job done. Got Stokes in there as well. Hobbs has been ever present at right back. Frankie Webb trying his best to get in on the celebrations despite having played about 7 minutes of football this season in the league. Yeah, three final games left to play. To be fair, we can quick sim the whole thing, to be honest. The results don't matter. But let's finish up by checking out the table, checking out the stats, and looking ahead to Season 2. So we do finish atop League 1. Nope. Top League 2. With 90 points. 7 points more than second place Gillingham. But it will be Gillingham and Barrow who join us in League 1 for certain. And then it will be one of Fleetwood, Wimbledon, Notts County and Tranmere. So Harrogate Town really fell away and will actually be going down and will no longer be a Football League side. Dave Williamson chips in with 26 goals and 7 assists, 22 of which came in League 2, where he had a 7.08 average rating. Incredible season for Williamson. Sean Rose with 12 goals and 10 assists is fantastic from centre midfield. Chamiti in just 19 games got 11 goals and 3 assists and a massive 7.22 average rating. We have to bring him in if we can. I don't think we'll be able to, but we have to try our best. Kabore scores 7 goals, 3 assists. Saint gets 7 and 4. Was injured for part of the season. Kai Fry with a massive 11 assists. Might lead League 2 in assists. Charles Mann with a decent contribution. 9 assists from El Fakiri as well is going to be up there in terms of the assist leaders. And Jamie Burns in that false back, left back position props up with 5 assists. So let's check on the top scorers and the top assisters in League 2. Dave Williamson misses out on the Golden Boot by just 2 goals. We do have the top 2 assisters in League 2 though. Sean Rose and Kai Fry both tied for 10 assists in their respective games this year. And we may have me top of the clean sheets as well, and we are. So we get the Golden Glove. We get the top 2 assisters. We are 3rd in terms of goals scored, or the golden boot at the very least. But prize money, we get a million. I was expecting a little bit more than that, to be honest, but we do get 1 million in prize money in League 2. That will go a long way in Buzzko's Core DNA companion tool. I will be inputting all of the information into Buzzko's Core DNA companion tool. Maybe I will record that and include it. I will record that and I will include it in the video that I'll be putting out, in the edited video compiling all of these live streams at the end of each month. So I think I'll record that and I'll put that in there because it's kind of awkward to do it on stream, but I can certainly input all the information and record that and include that within the video. That will do it for season 1. An incredibly productive season. Plenty of ways to grow and develop and improve the squad and the club heading into season 2. So stay tuned. Next live stream, next Friday, season 2, episode 1. Hope to see you there. Take it easy.